if you were with us for our first Blood in the Six vampire story, this is still happening in that same Toronto, and certain things that happen in that story are going to be relevant in our current story. But I have 4 new vampires to play with me tonight, and we have some new vampire stories to tell. And yeah, really looking forward to this. Before we get into introductions, I have a great sponsor. He's not here with me tonight either. This is a really strange night for me. So Ryan, CanadianDice.ca. Go to CanadianDice.ca and check out their stuff. You get a 15% discount over there now. I used to only get a 10% discount for you guys. Now I get a 15% discount for you. So head over to CanadianDice.ca. If you like vampire, go buy some D10s for yourself. I don't know if
there's a
great collection of dice there.
There is a code used. The code is OMRD. OMRD for Old Men Rolling Dice.
Yeah. You need to buy dice, because if you roll that 1, you take that D20, you throw it away.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't let the dice betray you. Always
out the window it goes.
Okay, so we're gonna quickly go around. We're gonna quickly go around the table. We're gonna have our players introduce themselves. They're gonna tell you what vampire they're playing, and hopefully the links that I picked for you to go and follow them work. So there you go. Who wants to go first, or shall I just point fingers?
I'll go first.
You're the easiest one, dude.
Why am I the easiest one?
Because you don't have any links. Who are you? Who are you?
I'm Kieran Bailey. A British transplant into Toronto, a punk rocker, ex bouncer turned vampire.
Yes.
Bouncer for the punk rock club of
the Hard Swallow.
The name of the club, the Hard Swallow.
Which I love.
My sire, Skinny, was the owner of the club.
Yeah, and just for we are going to get into this, but there is some rumors that maybe you were responsible for the fire at the club and killed Skinny.
I mean, rumors.
Rumors. There you go. And we would love
No
for
one's
you to
ever
go and
proved
follow Alan somewhere, but he is an internet hermit,
Yep.
and you cannot find him. You cannot find him.
Well, you can.
He's currently on the internet.
Yes.
Yep.
We've broken the rule. Alyssa, you want to go next?
Follow me on LinkedIn.
Sure.
Follow me on LinkedIn.
If you want to know about cybersecurity.
I posted Alyssa's link to her Instagram. Go follow her. Alyssa, who are we playing?
Tonight I am Jacques de Castor. I used to be a lumberjack, but then I got turned accident with a tree. That is what we're saying.
I was in the woods and got bit by a giant moose. now I grow these fangs.
I'm Gangrel. I'm going back to Toronto because my parents they got killed. I got some business to take care of there. That is all. Emily.
Toronto. Are we?
Great accent.
Oh wow.
Emily Corvée. Who are you?
Hello, that's me. Well, on the internet, I'm Corvée, but in this game, I'm Grey Fairbairn, and I'm just an innocent, an innocent sort of lower middle-aged woman, just trying to get by.
What even does that mean? Lower middle age.
Just running
lower middle age.
Lower middle age, as in 40s.
40? Okay. 40?
Just, running a charitable community organization.
Yes.
Just out here trying to help the people.
Yes.
That's all.
Yeah.
Just a normal person trying to help the people.
And Clan Ventru?
Yes, Clan Ventru. Very, I guess in D&D terms, charismatic a little bit.
Yeah, I think so. For sure.
Good in the social graces. Some more than others.
And I posted a. Oh, thank you for the. Who gifted the subs? The Artemis. The Artemis gifted the subs.
course.
Thanks, Artemis.
Thank you,
Are we
Artemis.
surprised? We're
And
certainly
thanks,
not
Wolfhound. I
surprised.
saw you get in there. That's a good segue. We're coming to you next. Listen, if you want to go follow Emily on Instagram, I posted somewhere up there. Here, let's do that again. We're gonna
Thanks, Artemis.
exclamation Greg. Go follow Corvée on Instagram, and you can also catch.
They do some very cool art.
Alyssa and Emily are both regulars over on the Voctera as well, so you can check them out there too. But
We'll be playing there
I
Friday.
bumped the Voctera enough, so they don't get any more bumps. And last but not least, Jazzy.
Hey,
Who are you?
who am I? I am Antoinette. I am an American transplant in Toronto. I came there to the university to study psychology.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was eventually turned by one of my psychology professors.
Yes.
I go by the name Toni because Antoinette seemed a little old-fashioned to me.
Yes.
And I am currently in the Malkavian clan.
I promise you won't be leaving them. Once you're a clan, you're always at a clan.
Promise?
I promise. I promise. And Jazzy is on the Knights of Roleplay podcast.
I am.
Sort of longtime friends of the channel and Old Men Rolling Dice. So I posted a link for Knights of Roleplay up there. Go check that out. And I think are you currently DMing on the podcast?
The podcast is currently releasing a short adventure that I did DM out of the Candlekeep Mysteries
Yeah.
because we are on recording hiatus because two of our members just had a little one.
baby.
Yeah.
Aw.
Congratulations
Our newest player
to Knights
has
of
been
Roleplay
born.
for their new baby, their newest player in the house.
Yay for
So
babies.
the little one just turned 2 weeks old, so we have a little 3-month hiatus from recording, but
Perfect.
we have pre-recorded episodes releasing every other week, so go check us out.
Awesome.
You want to
Uh,
hear what I'm like on the other side of the screen?
So listen, we're that's our players, and hopefully not a whole lot of experience with vampires. So there may be occasional times where we sort of stop and run through some rules and get up to speed on that. So if you've never
What
played...
is a vampire?
Exactly. What is a vampire?
What even is a vampire?
What is a vampire?
Do they
This-
have to have permission to come into your house?
So this is a
It's a
warning.
vampire.
Vampire. Pyre. What's the accent say? Vampire? Pyre?
Vampire.
Listen, I
Le
give
vampire?
this warning out before our vampire games, and I'm going to do it here now. Vampire is a horror game. Vampire has things like power inequities, maybe abuse of power, violence, blood, gore, things that may make you feel uncomfortable. Myself and my players went through a checklist, and we talked a little bit about what we do and don't want in the game. And I'm sort of new to DMing, storytelling some of these players, so we did our best to keep everybody I don't like the word safe, but safe. We tried to keep everybody safe. We tried to keep everybody comfortable with the game.
Comfortable.
So, if you're going to run Vampire or anything like that, please make sure you do that with your players. And if at any point in our game you feel uncomfortable, feel free to turn the stream off, or if you're watching this on YouTube, just pause and walk away for a little bit and come back and join us when you're more comfortable. Or maybe just skip the rest of the episode if that made you feel uncomfortable, and you can always come back and join us next time and see if we don't push the buttons then. Good? Are we ready to do this? Are we ready to drink blood and eat people and things like that? What could possibly go wrong?
Yep.
I
Before
would
we
never
start,
do such a thing.
before we
Pretty
start, I have
sure
a
nothing.
Question, go.
question. What does a vampire avoid ordering at a restaurant? Steak.
And
Well, on that sad note, we're ready to go.
Yay!
on that note, we will kick into. We're going to turn the trailer on, and when we come back, we'll start playing. Enjoy this trailer. I had a lot of fun making it. Here we go. Blood in the Six, for those that don't know, Toronto has an area code of 416, and we have Drake to thank for coining the term the Six. So that's where the name of our chronicle comes from. On a side note, we have a couple chronicle tenets that are running, which is things that the characters are going to try to role play to, or maybe against. But our chronicle tenets are: without a cause, you are nothing, and the guilty should suffer. The guilty should
Anarchs
suffer.
forever.
Anarchs forever. That's right. We are playing Anarchs. If you caught our first chapter, we were Camarilla. This is going to be on the, you know,
Imagine playing Camarilla.
the other
Who
side. The
Who
other
would
side.
even?
Who would like to volunteer to go first? We have a little scene for each of our players. Who wants to do their scene first?
Well, if no one wants to go, I will.
Okay.
I will.
So listen, it's summer in the Six, and it's almost done. The Canadian nights are getting longer, which is good for things like you. And when the sun is down, there's cool winds blowing in off of Lake Ontario, and a few trees are even beginning to show that first hint of yellow and orange. The multicultural communities of Kingsview Village and the West Way contain a mixture of detached homes and tall apartment buildings. A constant stream of jets can be heard and seen as they approach Pearson International Airport and fly over the village. The neighborhoods here are pretty diverse in all aspects, and this part of Etobicoke is very close to Highway 401 on its north and west sides, while on its east side is the Humber River Ravine. And then south is city all the way down to Lake Ontario. Recently, there's been some masquerade breaks in Toronto. Rumors amongst your kind say it came from an orphan, a clanless vampire as they're called, angry at the world for being embraced against his will. He flooded the internet and electronics with claims of vampires and monsters existing. The media didn't run with it, though. But of course not. We all know who the media is probably controlled by. After all, he's not the first to try something like this and shatter the masquerade. So things in Toronto right now are a little tense for our vampire community. So we're going to begin with Kieran. So Kieran is currently at a club called Skids. It's in Ronsonvales, or as the people of Toronto call it, it's in the Roncy. Kieran's band is there. They've just finished a show. They've come off stage. They're in the sorry excuse that the Skids calls a green room. The room is kind of divided, though, Kieran. There's couches over in one side and a TV, and you can hear the TV. It's on, but not too loud. And your drummer. How many members are there in your band?
There's the lead guitarist and singer.
Is that you?
Obviously.
Kieran?
Yeah,
Okay.
obviously.
Okay.
Right. The embodiment of true punk.
Yes.
Right. We got drummer, Crystal Meh.
Yeah.
We have two other band members.
Two other. So that's all I really need to know. The two other band members are in the next room, and
Oh, no.
it's darkened. It's in it's sort of, as I said, the room is kind of split in two, and in that other side of the room where the TV is really the only light on over there, and Kieran is, seeing sort of the occasional flash of naked bodies as a few admirers of the band have come backstage. There is gyrating and movement going on in there, but it's just too dark to see exactly what's going on. You, on the other hand, though, are in sort of where pre-show checks went on in this side of the room. There's a few, like, makeup tables with sort of the old-fashioned lighting all around them.
Mm-hmm.
But the light even over here is kind of low, Kieran. However, you're not alone. Crystal's with you. Her stage name, Crystal Meh. Her hair, sort of a big mess, multicolored, very flamboyant. And she has a sort of a feathered vest.
Bit of glam rock.
Yeah, she's got sort of a pink fishnet top underneath. And if it were not for the vest, you would see everything that Crystal owns. But that's no, you're used to that, right? Because you had a relationship with Crystal, didn't you?
I did. Oh, we're still on good terms.
So Crystal takes a puff on her on her vape,
as the kids do.
Blows it out. It has sort of a berry, fruity smell. You're used to that too. And she says to you, there's rumors that it was you that burnt down the Hard Swallow.
Well, you should know not to listen to rumors, love.
Well, you did have a bit of a beef with Skinny, didn't you? There was something going on there.
Lots of people had beefs with Skinny. He wasn't a great dude.
For your information, the fire that burnt down about 2 weeks ago.
Sure.
Well, if you weren't at the club that night, where were you? I thought you were always over there with Skinny.
Yeah, I was practicing with the other band.
The other band?
Yeah.
Oh. You really need to stop doing
don't
that.
Say it. Don't say it like that, love. It brings in money. You weren't complaining when I was butting you through giving you enough money to go to nice restaurants with your friends.
Nice restaurants? Come on, Kieran. She walks over to you and grabs your attention. Literally.
What are you trying to say?
Her hand goes to places that it has gone many times before, and she says, "This is why I let that pass before."
Look, it's over. I know you're very jealous. I know you can't resist me. I mean, look at me. I'm gorgeous. But,
Well, gorgeous.
Should have thought about that.
Why don't we do one for old times? And she motions to one of the chairs beside you.
I got a minute.
Yeah?
Sure.
Okay. So she forcefully pushes you into the chair, Kieran. Does Kieran think this is a good idea, or is he just rolling with it?
A lot of people around. It's not
in the next room. This is not the first time maybe that this has happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's take a risk.
Okay. So as things are about to get started, you realize that in your undead form, nothing rises without a little bit of work. So would you like to use a power called the Blush of Life so that you can mimic human functions?
Well, instead of doing that,
okay,
I could take a nibble.
Yeah, you could.
I am a siren.
Okay. So before things get too hot and heavy, you're just going to try to put her into a state of bliss with your bite.
Yep.
Okay. She does mention that your appendages are cold. As you're about to lean in and take a bite, there's a knock at the door.
Bloody hell. What do you want?
I'm looking for a Kieran.
I just unceremoniously push her off me.
Okay.
Let her fall to the floor.
She awkwardly falls off of you.
Yep.
Cold-blooded.
You make your way over to the door.
Open it.
Okay. There's a you'd like to call him a man, but he's only a teen, really. He might be 19. He's there's no way he's north of 20. And he's trying to look very tough and official. He's dressed in punk regalia, like he's in the scene. He's obviously part of the scene here. He's like you're Kieran?
Yeah, you looking for an autograph?
No, I'm here to extend an invitation.
I'm listening.
He leans in close and under his breath is like, from the Baroness?
Shit. All right.
Supposed to tell you she'd like to talk with you tomorrow night.
When and where?
Just after sundown. She says to meet her at Peaches, which is an adult entertainment club out by the airport.
I know the place.
I do too.
I don't think you should.
He smiles. So you'll see her there, right?
Yep. I'll be there.
I'll let her know you'll be
With
in
bells on.
attendance.
You want that autograph?
For what?
Did you not see my set?
Oh,
I'm bringing back True Punk.
I didn't know that. They told me to find you here.
Fine. I slam the door.
Okay.
Harsh.
As you do that, Crystal's pulling herself up off the floor, dusting off her knees.
So cruel.
Next time, love.
Who the fuck was that?
Fan.
A fan.
Why do you sound so surprised?
Yeah. All right. I don't think you're that big time.
You're the drummer. Whose fault is it? If you could just keep rhythm.
With that, I think with that parting shot, I think we'll dim the lights on that scene. We'll dim the lights on that scene. Let's jump to. We'll stay on that side of the screen. Let's jump to Jacques. Jacques, you've just pulled into the funeral home's parking lot. Your dad's been passed away for about a week now, but
Yeah.
you've just gotten into town. This funeral home supposedly had his pre-arrangements, so they had already contacted you, and they've gone ahead and transferred his body to the funeral home, and they're just waiting for you to come in and tell them sort of what to do.
Okay.
Okay. The funeral home is called the Rawlings Funeral Home. It sort of looks a little bit like something out of the Addams Family. It's not one of these new funeral homes that like build to spec. Instead, this is like a big old house in northern Toronto that has been converted over to a funeral home. Everything here is on the outside looks pretty pristine, except like all of the bushes, all of the grass, it all seems to just be wilting at the edges. Like there's something just not quite right here.
Okay. Fair enough.
There's a big white sign with a floodlight on it on the front lawn. Rawlings Funeral Home. In scripty writing, and and the rain is just starting to come down right now.
Okay. So I put the kickstand down on my bike and head in.
Okay.
Presumably I must run into somebody inside, do I?
Yeah, once you're in the front door, you look to your right and there's a visitation room. There's a casket. It's open. There's an older, bald man, very barrel-chested, lying in the... And it's the most lifelike you've ever seen a corpse.
Okay.
Like, he looks really... He's got his color, the whole bit. Whoever embalmed him, master. There's flowers all around his casket, and the air smells of, like, gladiolas but there's that...
Formaldehyde?
There's still that smell, right? It's just persistent.
There always is.
From down, there's a set of stairs going up, and another set of stairs sort of winding down underneath on one side, and then a hallway down to the end. And and a man comes out dressed in a suit from an office at the back of the building. He walks up the hallway past the visitation room to you, and he's like, can I help you?
Yes, I am Jacques de Castor. My dad is here someplace. He had his arrangements with you.
Yes, we picked your dad up from the hospital.
Yeah.
Right this way, Mr.
De Castor. You can call me Jacques.
Thank you, Jacques.
Castor. Yeah. No problem.
So he takes you into the back and sits down, and the earliest parts of the arrangements begin. It's just standard paperwork, like your dad's name and his date of death and date of birth and all that. And you're giving all that over. And then a woman enters the office, and she just stands in the doorway looking at you while the arrangements are proceeding with this. The gentleman's name is Harold, and he's obviously been doing this a long time. It's just sort of, you can tell he's just going through the motions. It's not that he's being rude or anything like that, but this is someone who has been working in the business for a very long time. At which point the woman's like, Harold, I'll take things from here.
Hello?
Hello?
I'm Jacques.
Oh, I love the accent.
Oh, thank you. I was born with it. You know.
Harold leaves the room, and the woman makes her way around. She's dressed in a very form-fitting black pantsuit. Her hair is sort of in a bob cut, and like one step beyond platinum blonde, like just almost white.
Yep.
She has a pair of glasses on, and she sits down behind the table and looks over what Harold's done. And then she looks yourself over again, and she says, are you new to Toronto?
No, I lived here before, but I've been working up north in the lumber camps up there. So I'm back now because my dad, he died, but normally no. I prefer the woods.
Your father? I've been here for some time. I've been here for some time.
It's a beautiful city.
Yes, I quite like it here.
Yep.
Some beautiful parks and cemeteries.
I wouldn't know. I haven't been here in a while, but yeah. Before I was more in the clubs.
It says, how old is your father?
I think he was in his, he was like 70, something like that, I think. I'm very bad at keeping track of ages.
He has...
I know the birthday. You can do the math, ma'am. I don't know.
His skin is wonderful for a man of his age.
He must have had moisturizer. I don't know.
Have you thought about embalming?
For me?
For your father? Are you going to?
I'm not dead yet. Huh?
Are you going to have a traditional service for your father?
I do not know what he wanted. We had never discussed it because he was pretty young, huh?
Well, his prearrangements say he wanted cremation, but I mean, what a waste.
Oh, but if he wanted the cremation, then I do not want to go against his wishes. Huh? I respect what he wanted, my dad. We will cremate him. But thank you for the compliments on his skin. I'm sure in life he would have appreciated it.
So she walks you through the rest of the arrangements, and then she sort of folds the folder up, and she says, "That's everything will be taken care of as you want in your father's wishes. There's no requirement for payment. He prepaid his services."
Yeah, he was a very responsible man, my dad. I will miss him.
She then says to you, "Is this your first time back to Toronto since your
Since what? Since my time at the logging camps? No, I came back to visit my parents from time to time, but now I'm back for sad reasons to visit my dad, but for the last time, right? So it is what it is.
I know you.
What do you know?
I know what you are.
A handsome fellow. I am that, but
yes, of course. Of course. No, I too am
a handsome fellow
like you.
I see. What do you mean exactly like me? I don't understand. You have to be more explicit, madame.
How cute that we're going to play this game.
I love games. Go ahead.
Do you?
Yes.
I love games too.
Yes, I can tell. I can tell.
Well, what if I told you that, I tend to be more of a night person? My hands are always cold.
Huh.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Pourtant, you look so warm. I guess I do, though. I get the nuance, huh? How can I help you, madame? Because clearly you have
I want to help you if you're back.
I'm here for the funeral of my dad, huh?
But, exactly. But you're back in Toronto.
Yeah, for the funeral of my dad.
So before you go too far, you maybe need to make an introduction. Are you? You're with the Ivory Tower, maybe, or?
I do not know this Ivory Tower that you're speaking of, but I am here in Toronto. I will make the introductions I need to make to who I need to make them to. It's what we do.
I think you.
Who do you think I should introduce myself to at this time of grieving, madame?
I think your introduction is far more important. I would hate to see such a. She looks you up and down. Specimen to be harmed.
I see. Now it's the threats, huh? I got a dead dad in here. What are you doing? I make my introductions when I'm ready. Yeah, I'm grieving.
Oh. Well, I think you should go and speak to. I think you should speak to Justine.
Okay, I will talk to Justine. Where do I find Justine? I just came in from the woods.
A bit of a hedonistic establishment called Peaches.
I've heard of it before, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. I will go see Justine, but first let's take care of my dad, huh?
Oh yes, everything will be taken care of. And please let Justine know that I pointed you in her direction. Veronica Rawlings.
I'm sure Veronica, she will appreciate knowing. I will make a point of telling her that you helped me so much. Thank you.
But of course, anything for the families we serve.
Yes. All right. Thank you.
So
should I take you in case I need to contact you, get Justin to contact you? Do I need
Oh
this information?
no, Justine will know how to contact me if she needs to.
Great. Okay. Let's go take care of the rest of the arrangements, huh?
So
And then I will go find Justine.
everything she said everything goes smoothly, and you finish the arrangements. Veronica makes sure that she sees you to the door once all is done.
Okay.
If I can be of any more assistance, don't hesitate to call me.
Ah, Cherie, you have been so helpful already. Thank you. I think I'm good.
All right.
I head out and hop on my bike.
So you make your way back. There's still a light rain falling. Not a big deal. You get back on your motorcycle and drive off. Let's jump across to Gray now. So Gray, you're in your office. Ronald, one of your newer members, is sitting in front of you. He smiles. He's asked to have a meeting with you.
Okay.
So he looks at you and he says, Ms. Fairbairn.
Yes.
So I bought all the pamphlets and distributed them, you know, and I've taken a number of the courses that have been provided for me.
Yes.
I'm really starting to understand, I think, the direction they're pushing me to, and I can feel, personal growth and maybe even a little bit of a touch of the divine. But I need more pamphlets this month.
Oh, okay.
But I've come up a little short.
Oh, I see.
So I don't know if like there's a loan or maybe the church could supply me with more pamphlets so I can better distribute to a greater net. The bigger the net, the bigger the gross, right? That's what we learn in the classes, right? Bigger, throw a big net.
That is true.
Get a big, yeah.
That is true.
So if I could just maybe have a loan or maybe some of those pamphlets, then I could certainly I could distribute them. I really want to get to the next tier, so I can attend those private classes that you give in the back there, but.
Yes.
But I can't. I'm just a little short this month. I've overextended myself, I think.
Perhaps we could make up for that by bringing in some of those people. You said you already distributed all of your previous ones? Are you still in touch with any of those people?
Well, of course. I swim every weekend down at the Y, and I gave all the pamphlets out to everyone in the locker room. And I'm just waiting to hear back from them. But should I approach them like that?
I mean, have you had anyone ask you any question? Any follow-up?
I did mention it to my mother-in-law, and had some follow-up with her, but she seems to think that this is some sort of scheme.
Excuse me, a what?
I know. I was worried about it too. I told her that was not the case. That you are teaching us how to tap in to our spiritual side, by providing better for ourselves. I just I know that she has a safety deposit box, and I just thought if she could give that over, she might feel a touch.
Sure.
Of what we talked about in the seminar.
Well, first of all,
I have my crystal.
feel
I have
free
my
to
crystal.
assure-
I've been wearing it.
Oh,
And he holds up like a
good.
blue crystal. I've
Wonderful.
been wearing it, rubbing it at night, like I'm supposed to.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. I wanted to buy the red crystal. I didn't have enough, right? I know
Well,
red
perhaps
crystals are
your
stronger.
mother-in-law could help you get the red crystal.
Well, that's actually why I approached her. But then she started going on about this pyramid scheme, and I shouldn't be buying the pamphlets. Like if it was important information to get out, that they would be provided for me. So I thought maybe since I'm a little short this month, I could come in and get some pamphlets.
Robert, was it? Robert?
Oh, me.
Yes.
No,
What was your name again, dear?
no, Ronald.
Ronald, of course. How could I forget? My dear, I tell you what.
Yeah.
Why don't you? Why don't you bring your mother-in-law here to meet me so I can reassure her? Because here's the thing. This is not a scheme. We want success for all of our members.
Of course.
Success. We want all of us to thrive together.
Yes, yes.
And the way that we do that is by spreading the word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly, and I would be a stronger supplicant if I had
Yes.
more to build my base with.
Tell you what, Ronald. And I'll like come around my desk and like stand him up and put my arm around his shoulder and just kind of be like, why don't you bring her back here and I can talk to her and reassure her? Because it sounds like she's just worried for your well-being. And of course, who can blame her? You're a wonderful man.
Thank you.
If we can get you some success and we can get her some success, we can all thrive together.
I
That's
know.
all we want.
I know. So
And we can thrive forever
do I
together.
do I get the pamphlets now or should I bring her first?
Tell you what, I will give you 10 more pamphlets on me because I'm very generous.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, of course. Just be very selective with these ones because,
Okay.
you know,
You
they're
don't
being
think the Y
fronted
is a
to
good
you.
place? You don't think the Y is a good place?
The Y could be a good place, but what about your place of business? Or
Well,
perhaps
I
if you went into like a higher end store and left some in the dressing room?
well, maybe.
Because if we can bring in people who are already successful,
I did talk to my
they
friends at
will
work. I did
help
talk to my
us
friends at work.
build more. Yes. Oh, great.
Pe-
Great.
people at Happy Burger aren't really that happy. So I was like, we could come
Mm,
we could come here.
well, we do want, I mean, that's really what all of this is about, isn't it?
Oh yes.
Happiness.
Oh yes.
Happiness. Joy. Joy in our lives.
Yes.
Now, why don't you just go ahead and bring these pamphlets, get them out into some other places, spread the word around Toronto, and then come back with your mother-in-law and we'll have a chat. I can
I
reassure her.
promise you I will do that.
And I think she will see.
Oh, I
will
think
see
if she
the
could see
truth.
you.
Well, exactly. You know, I don't like to brag, but I do think if I could just speak with her, she would understand.
I know she would.
Of course. Now run along.
Thank you. And
Take
and
these. Be careful with them, of
yeah,
course.
his hands are like almost shaking as he takes the pamphlets. Yes.
Right.
And across the top of the pamphlets is like the Church of Means. Thank you so much.
No, we want you to have the means to become a member of the Church of Means.
Absolutely.
We'll get you there.
I want
We'll
that
get
red
you
crystal.
there, Ronald.
I want that red crystal.
Yes.
And I want to make sure that I can get in on those seminars that you lead. Because the other
and
people
one of
were
these
good.
days you're gonna own.
The other people were
you're
good,
gonna
but
own some franchises.
Oh, you think so?
We're gonna get you up there. I think so.
I'll tell you, I feel like if I could just get out of Happy Burger.
I mean, get out of Happy Burger, move up into Happy Burger management. I'm just saying. Lord knows those CEOs. They really have all sorts of cash.
He's ever so thankful. He bows, he curtsies, and he's out the door.
I think this is a scheme. I'll be honest. I'm not convinced.
I'm just gonna shut the door behind this guy
As you
and be
do,
like,
your phone starts to ring.
oh.
Caller display says it's Phyllis.
Of course. Hello? Phyllis?
Hello, darling.
Hello. So nice to hear from you.
It took you a little long to pick up the phone.
I'm so sorry. I was just meeting with the supplicant. And
Time is money, money is time.
always difficult to get them out of the office, if you know what I mean. What can I do for you?
Try not to spare the rod with them.
Oh. Well, all right.
A firm hand. Take control.
All right. Perhaps I'm being too generous.
I believe so, Gray. We've spoken of this before.
Yes, all right.
Don't roll your eyes at me. I know you're doing it.
Of course.
Now, child,
Yes.
prior to leaving the city, I owed a number of boons, favors to others.
Oh, yes, okay.
One of them has come calling.
Ah. All
I
right.
require you-
Well, I'm sure
I require you to pay a debt for me.
I'd be happy to. Of course.
Are you familiar with a club called Peaches?
Am I familiar with a club called Peaches?
I'll let you decide. 100% up to you. If you think Gray would know where adult entertainment in the city is, then perhaps yes.
I think if she knows where it is, she definitely finds it distasteful.
Only know where it is, so I can avoid it.
Exactly. So she's kind of like,
Or find new schmucks.
Peaches. Yeah.
Yes, Peaches. You know it then.
Peaches, of course. Definitely. Definitely.
The person I owe the boon to will be there. Justine.
Okay.
Now, when Gray hears the name Justine, she is well aware that Justine is the Anarch Baron for Etobicoke, the west end of the city. She is the big honcho,
Okay.
but you would never use the term Baroness on the phone for fear that it was being monitored or things like that.
Great. Okay. Yes. Of course, I'm familiar.
Do make a good impression.
Well, I always do. Of course.
I can't stress this enough. We want to keep the Baroness, we want to keep Justine happy. After I go, don't say Baroness.
Don't say Baron.
We want to keep Justine happy.
You know I will be doing just that.
Good.
You can count on me. For sure.
I know. That's why I left you in charge.
Yes.
And with that, there's no goodbye. The phone is just disconnected.
Do I know how difficult it would be for me in particular to get to this place, or is it nearby?
You could cab or Uber or bus.
Are there bodies of water in between here and there?
Ah, yes. No, there is not.
Oh, good. Wonderful.
So only to the east is the Humber River. To the
Right.
north and
Okay.
west, you're okay. So you're sort of going northwest from where you are.
Perfect. In that case, I will do.
Okay.
I'm assuming I need to go right away, so I get like
Oh,
Gray
no-
is just
no,
literally
part-
wearing all gray.
Yes, we will time lapse this. That it's actually the next night.
Oh, okay. Great.
Toni or Antoinette,
Yes.
you find yourself in a familiar office. It's on the University of Toronto's campus, the psychology department. The walls are adorned with masks. Strange masks from all over the world, and some you're not sure where they came from. On the leather couch that we can all expect to see in a therapist's office, on the leather couch lies a naked man with a trickle of blood rolling across his collarbone and down his shoulder. Another stain of blood, a smear down by his thigh. On a large business-like desk, there is a woman with only pale blue stockings and garters lying across it awkwardly. She has similar wounds on her. Sitting behind the desk is a man in a very old-fashioned set of... at one point, it was a suit, but now he's dressed down to just dress pants and a shirt. The tie was lost long ago during the escapades that just occurred. But he has a mask on with it only covers his eyes and his nose, a long pointy nose and a wrinkled and furrowed brow on the mask. And he lies back and sort of swivels a bit on the chair. You find yourself sitting on another couch across from the man's body. You've just fed. He says, I do like that blue dress. I can't thank you enough for wearing it.
Of course you like it, Louis. You picked it out. Always blue with you. Why is
Blue-
it always blue?
It's such a nice color. It brings out your eyes.
Well, you can thank yourself for me wearing it. It's not like I had a choice.
So what do you think? Should I pass them? He motions to the two lying about. Not really up to stuff, their grades.
That's completely up to you.
He stands up and he walks around and he points to the man lying on the couch. He's like, this one. It's always Freudian with him.
It's always Freud with everyone, isn't it, Louis?
You had such good insights on Freud. And he walks over and looks out. He has a pair of doors that open onto a very small balcony. He's looking out that and the moonlight is shining in past him. Antoinette, I couldn't imagine getting through all of this without you.
No, you managed to get through the last 200 years without me. I don't know why you chose me now.
The evenings get so lonely. It's nice to have someone to talk to, don't you agree?
Someone to talk to, someone to order around. Which one is it, Louis? I don't know
Now.
sometimes.
Are we going to have a fight?
Sometimes I just get tired of this.
Tired of what?
Why don't you just find yourself a new doll and move on already?
Oh, Antoinette. There is nothing in this city that compares to you. Marty agrees. This one tasted quite nice. He points to the girl on the lying across his desk. What did
Well,
you
you
think?
made sure to dress her up nice and pretty like another doll, didn't you?
She came in blue. And he goes over and sort of touches her stocking.
I walk over and slap his hand.
Oh! Miss Antoinette, I'm sorry if I've offended you somehow.
You've already shown her such disrespect. You can't even respect her in her slumber.
She might be dead, Antoinette. I think she partied a little too hard.
You're just as much a medical doctor as I am. Why don't you figure it out?
He walks around the table and leans down. Oh no, there's a breath here. Yes, I think she'll be fine. Mind you, we'll have to find her dress. So, any plans? How is your little practice going? Still doing charity work for the social services?
You mean helping the people that you want to feed on? Of course I am.
Yes. Helping the people. You make me out to be such a villain.
Well, you must excuse me for having a little disdain for the man that took all my dreams away at the age of 25.
Oh, your dreams away. My dear, I gave you the chance to live forever.
For what?
He motions around the room.
For your petty little games.
Petty? My
And your
dear, do you know
jewelry.
what
And
someone
your
would have to-
dresses.
You look wonderful in that dress. Don't...
Ugh. He throws her jewelry down on his desk. Like I said, I don't really want to be your dress-up doll.
He comes very stern for a moment, and he says, pick that up. And you feel the blood bond take over, and you have no choice but to pick it up. That's a gift. Treat it a little better. I was just about to say, these people slumming it, do you know how much they would have had to pay to have entertainment like this?
Entertainment.
Entertainment? He points at the man. This fellow is a damn near gold medal gymnast. He'd probably backflip and spring across the room. Right into our waiting arms. Antoinette, I can't... You really must stop frowning. And you almost feel like your face is forced to smile.
I really hate it when you do that to me.
You're being a bit rebellious. Maybe it's time you had another drink.
My teeth start to come out.
Very good. We'll make sure we top you up before you leave.
I swear one of these days.
Oh, stop it, Antoinette. This is starting to become like a child, like a 12-year-old girl whining to her father. And we're hardly that. I mean, look around.
You're old enough to be my great-great-great-great-grandfather, darling.
I am. I robbed the cradle.
And you robbed my womb.
Oh, Jesus. Antoinette, you do have a flair for the dramatic. If If another one
You
of us,
call me dramatic. Look around the room, darling.
yes, well, maybe you come by it honestly then. And he smiles. Whatever the
And
case.
She winces as she bites into the man on the couch.
Okay. He watches you do that and waits. Smiles. I need you to go and speak to the Baroness for me.
She stops drinking as she looks up. The Baroness.
Mm-hmm. Her and I were quite good friends back in the day. Before she decided I was too loony. Bitch. Whatever the case is, I need you to go to her. She's called on me, and I can't look her in the eye.
That's very convenient. As you know, I can't very well say no to you.
Yes, and I can't very well say no to her either.
Oh, really?
Well, not the way you and I. You know.
Oh.
We don't have what you and I have.
Anything I should know before you send me to the wolves?
I think it has something to do with that crazy man on the internets. The Googles? What is it called again?
It's the internet.
Yes,
You
isn't that what I
fool.
said? Damn blasted computers. I would burn them all if I could. I would.
How the university hasn't figured you out yet, I will never know.
He opens one of his desk drawers and holds up a paper from one of his students. Look at this penmanship. Bah! Ruined. Typing on keyboards. I asked them to handwrite. Look at this. He throws it back down to the desk. Closes the...
Are you quite done with me, you antiquated turkey? I'd like to get on with my date.
I can't tell you how deep that cuts me.
If only it cut a little deeper.
He walks over to you and he runs... One of his fingers turns into a bit of a claw. And he cuts his bit of his arm ever so much so that there's a trickle of blood. And then he holds it out to you. He's like, drink.
She does as she's told.
He lets out a long sigh as you do that. Once you're finished, he pats you on the head. You go along now. I'll clean up.
She winces like a dog that's been patted by an owner that beats it.
You walk out of his office, and the door closes. And I think that's where we'll take our break. And we'll come back for our next little scene at Peach's nightclub with the whole family. The whole family.
Boy.
We'll be right back, everybody. And we're back. We had our break. Now we're ready to play. It's been a night since our last scenes played out. So the first thing we're going to ask all of our kindred to do as they rise this night before they go to meet the Baron, we're going to make a rouse check. So on your character sheets there will be a button beneath your hunger that says rouse. Now, if you succeed, which most of you seem to be doing, no worries. But if you fail this roll, you will go up to probably hunger 2, because I think everyone's at hunger 1, correct? Yeah.
That's right.
But it looks like everybody has succeeded. Did we all find what the... yeah. So everyone has succeeded. No one has gotten hungrier. And you've made your way out. You're still in a Tobacco, but you're sort of out of your... out of your domain, away from your haven. And you arrive outside of the nightclub, the adult entertainment. The parking lot has very high cedar hedges all the way around it. It's in more of an industrial sort of warehouse district, near the airport. You guys hear a flight overhead coming in. All 4 of you have arrived. It's just after nightfall. How did everyone arrive? Just quickly. Do people have cars? Did they taxi? Did they Uber?
I was dropped off by my girlfriend.
Rory?
Yes.
Does Rory know what you are?
No.
Okay. So
I was probably not dropped off at the club.
okay.
Maybe close by.
Nearby, and then you walk over to Peaches.
Yeah.
Jacques, are you riding the bike over?
Yeah.
When you arrive,
taking my bike.
there is a lot of bikes here.
Yeah. I pull up beside them and put my kickstand down.
Yep. How about Toni? How did Toni get here?
She drove her like mid-sized sedan.
Very responsible.
Sensible mid-sized sedan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sensing like Honda or Toyota.
Yeah, I was thinking like Toyota Camry.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, that's a very
Amazing.
responsible vehicle.
Perfect.
Sure.
How about Gray? How did Gray get here?
I mean, she's all about, trying to be a community organization, so I would imagine she would have taken some sort of public transportation if it was available.
Okay. So you've all arrived. Peaches is a surprisingly large building. There is a neon peach emoji over the front door,
Classic.
illuminating the front walk in sort of an orangey yellow light.
So it's the orange light district?
Yes. There is a large group of in Canada, you only need to be 19 to be in an establishment like this. So there are a number of piles of 19-year-old boys waiting around outside, hoping that there'll be enough room to get in.
18 if you're in Quebec.
18 if you're in Quebec, even younger, right? So when the 4 of you arrive, you're recognized, with the exception of Jacques. So the other 3 of you would have been let in to see Justine, but Jacques, when you arrive, the bouncers stop you, and they're like, "You're a big guy, right?"
Yep.
You're probably physically larger than these guys, but they
I
stop you.
probably am.
They stop you at the door, and they're like, "Whoa! You got to get in line."
Yeah. I don't think so. I'm here to see Justine. I've been sent here. I wouldn't be here otherwise.
Justine's busy. Like, do you have an appointment?
I believe so.
He quickly
I'm in
checks
town.
like an iPad tablet in his hand. He's like, "What's your name?"
Jacques. Que de castor. Tabernacle.
He's like, really, Jacques?
Really? Yeah, Jacques. It is me. I'm Jacques. Trust me, I don't want to be here. I was told to come.
You were told to come.
I was told to come.
Well, Jacques.
I'm new to town. I don't want to be.
You're not on my list, Jacques.
Listen, fucker. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be here.
Don't do that.
He looks at the two other guys. There's three of them there. They're like, we're pretty sure you're not supposed to be here, Jacques. If you want to see the ladies, you go get in line.
This town is full of ladies, man. I don't hear the ladies, but listen, I do need to be here to see Justine. So I think you had better let me in.
Is this maybe an intimidation check?
Might be in an intimidation check, yeah.
Let's do that. Let's roll intimidation, and we're going to combo that with composure. So intimidation.
Okay. So I click on the intimidation, right?
You click on intimidation first. It's going to ask you for a second attribute, and you're going to choose composure.
Yeah. Okay. And then submit.
Submit.
Yeah, and then pull size modify.
And this is actually going to be one difficulty higher because Artemis threw shade on you.
Artemis!
Rude.
Okay. Submit.
How dare you?
Look
There.
at this!
What
Even
happened
with
here?
Artemis's shade, you make this roll.
Look at that.
Yeah.
What?
Does the
So,
blue
all the
symbol
game.
mean like a
so the blue
Extra success?
is a
Crit.
crit, but it doesn't trigger a critical success unless there's another crit roll. You need 2 crits to get that.
Oh.
So
What?
And you did roll a bestial failure, but because your successes outnumber it, there's
Okay.
no ill effect here.
Got it.
So you succeed.
Okay.
One of the guys sort of
So am I on
goes
the
check.
list or what,
One of the
man?
guys goes like
Listen.
check the list again. Check the list again.
I think you better check the list again.
Well, who
Like, for
who
real.
sent you?
Like I even remember. I don't even want to be. Just let me in the fucking club already.
Well, he holds his earpiece and he tells you just to wait a minute. He steps away a bit, and you can see he's talking on some sort of microphone. He comes back and he says, "Who sent you?"
What was her name, Jeremy?
Veronica Rawlings.
Veronica?
Okay, it's Veronica that sent me from the funeral. Oh, my dad is dead, man. Like, let
When
me
you-
in the goddamn club already.
When you say the name Veronica, the 3 men at the door lose color in their face.
Oh, I see. So you know Veronica. Like, let me in the goddamn club. What the fuck?
Are you like family with Veronica?
Do I look like Veronica's family? I am
like-
sent here. I have to see just the
Okay. Come with me.
Thank you.
Jacques about to throw down.
So he walks you through the club. The club is playing just the most god awful house beat. Unless you're into that sort of thing. But there's just sort of this.
What am I even doing here tonight? God
There-
damn it.
There is a DJ booth on one side, and it's raised a bit so the DJ can see the entire club. And you can see someone is up in that booth. There is a very interestingly shaped stage that sort of wraps out into all different parts of the club, but is still intact as one piece. So if you were to sit down, you'd be walking into these little pockets that are kind of surrounded by the stage's strange shape. There are poles, of course, There are flashing neon lights. There are waitresses walking about that are almost as, skimpily dressed as the dancers that are currently on the stage. And the place is packed. Absolutely packed. Drinks are flowing.
I grab a $16 beer because I'm sure that's how much they cost.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? Remember, we're vampires, so you can drink a beer, but you would have to spend a blush of life. You would have to do a rouse check.
Pretend to drink it.
That's
it's
fine.
fine.
That's fine.
Yep.
So you can carry it around and keep up the show. You
Yep.
buy yourself a beer on the way through, and the bouncer actually goes, "No, if he wants a beer, that's fine." And the waitress is like, "Oh, okay," and he then walks you to the back, and you sort of reach the back, and there is a door that says like staff only. And when he gets up close to it, he holds a security card out, and it buzzes him in. And then there's another hallway, and you pass a room with all kinds of security cameras. You can see the club, but you can also see the back rooms of the club where all sorts of things are going on. Then past what looks to be a couple different offices, and then finally he opens a door into a back room, and you're in, for all intents and purposes, someone's gaming room. There's like a billiards table, and there's an old Pac-Man stand-up arcade unit in the one corner.
40K.
No 40K.
Battle scene.
No 40K.
Stay in there.
No 40K. They're not that geeky. They're not that geeky. In the room there are three other people. So Alan, why don't you tell us how Kieran looks tonight? And
Sure.
Kieran's already done the walk through the club. Kieran was not held up at the door when he said he was here to see
No one
Justine.
here holds Kieran up. No one holds. He's wearing a kind of a classic Sex Pistols white T-shirt. It's a bit eaten, like bitten and ripped around the collar. A black leather jacket with studded spikes added across the shoulders. On the back it says "Punk is dead," and then there's a kind of a vampire teeth set around that. Regular jeans, but then the front of the jeans are safety safety pins.
Mm-hmm.
They're called. Yeah,
Mhm.
safety
For
pins
safety.
all the way down the front of them.
Very punk.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Hair is
Nice.
swapped into a mohawk.
A mohawk? Is it colored?
It is not colored because the other.
Do you
band
have suspenders
used to
on,
have it.
and are they up or down?
They're just hanging down.
Down means you're ready to rumble.
Always ready to rumble.
So
You know
Jacques,
me,
great.
Jeremy.
Okay.
I'm always ready to rumble.
This is gonna be fun.
Oh boy.
Standing with our punk stuck in the 80s. Let's go to Gray, because I think this is going to be a nice side by
Quite
side.
a juxtaposition.
How
Quite a
is
juxtaposition.
Gray dressed for her meeting with the Baroness?
I think normally she looks like if like a new age kind of free-spirited person had like expensive taste.
Mhm.
Very like flowy, comfortable linen clothes. Everything's all in gray. It's also all vaguely clerical looking, like
Okay.
she's some sort of priest or something. But I think tonight, like normally she has her hair down in like a bob to make people more comfortable, but she's trying to impress people in this instance. So it's more like slicked back, kind of an asymmetrical high neck, like gray top, and then like
Very sensible.
straight leg pants, kind of, leather shoes that are comfortable, but
How's her hair done?
probably expensive. Oh, it's just like slicked back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Concrete statue.
Yeah. Maybe. How about How about Toni? It is Toni now that you're away from him, not Antoinette, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So what's Toni
she-
looking like?
She has on a purposely weathered band t-shirt with suit pants and a suit coat.
Nice.
I can visualize that.
Any has she done anything with her hair?
It is straight and down and blonde. And
Okay.
she has a very simple like pendant with a pentacle on it.
Okay.
Just very, very kind of classic tomboy meets business casual.
Okay. Okay. I like that. I like that combo. That's maybe coming to Paris next month.
Yeah.
So
You
listen,
heard it here first. Don't believe Karl Lagerfeld.
the three of you all arrived very close to one another and were escorted to this through the club and into this room. You have been left alone here for maybe 10 minutes now. And Gray, you maybe have seen Kieran around. There is a club not far from the Church of Means, the Hard Swallow, which you always found distasteful. And it burnt down 2 weeks ago. And what you've heard from your contacts amongst the Anarch vampires of Etobicoke is that Kieran burnt it down to kill his sire. And there's been some talk, and you can't help but wonder if that's maybe that's why you're here. Okay. But let's get over to Jacques. Jacques, you walk through the door. These three are waiting. What does Jacques look like for these three new kindred to look at?
Really cranky. Not happy. Not happy to be here. He's got a beer in one hand. He doesn't look happy about that. Yeah, he basically looks like he rolled out of a logging camp and came to the strip club, but he doesn't want to be here.
Kieran lights up a cigarette and looks at him and says, "What are you, a bloody lumberjack?"
Oh, you're pretty astute, man. Yeah, I totally am a fucking lumberjack.
And why would that not be okay?
Punk?
You guys notice that as Jacques gets like angry again and starts swearing, the security like very quickly and quietly leaves the room and closes the door behind him.
It's just a bloody observation, mate. No one's getting upset.
Okay, man, whatever. I don't even want to be here. Like, what are we even here for right now? Do you even know? Any of you? Please, somebody tell me. My dad just died. I don't want to be here. What is this about?
I have some ideas, but they don't have anything to do with you, and I just kind of look over at Kieran.
Well, I don't think they have anything to do with me either, huh?
I kind of wink at Gray.
Cigarette? Man. Okay.
You seem to
Absolutely
be having a lot of
not.
feelings. Would you like to have a seat?
No, I think I'm just gonna pace angstily in the corner over here with my beer that I'm not gonna drink. That costs $16. What are we waiting for right now? What is going on, you guys?
I'm surprised that you're here and you don't know what is going on, but you should take a seat. And you're clearly going through a grieving process right now. Anger is definitely one of the steps of that grieving process. So...
What are you, a C? What the fuck? I don't need a psychiatrist right now. I want to get the fuck out of here.
We could all do with a psychiatrist.
Well, the faster we calm down and see what the Baroness wants, the sooner we get out here. Get out of here. I'm assuming that you're one of us, and I'm gonna like put my hand on her shoulder in that like doctor places their hand on their shoulder in a comforting manner kind of thing. Or on his, sorry.
So as you touch Jacques, you receive a premonition, Toni. Your Auspex power kicks in, and you see a kind older man standing beside him.
Are you okay? You look a little funny right now.
He has very kind eyes. He's smiling and he motions for you. He doesn't say anything, but like he kind of does this, like almost like he's asking you just be patient with this guy.
You said you lost someone recently, right?
Yes, my father, he passed away. I am here for his funeral. This is what brought me to Toronto, and then I got sent the fuck here. To this Peaches Club. I don't know.
Did your father perhaps have very kind eyes?
Yes, he did. When he was alive.
There is definitely a family resemblance between the two. He smiles.
He was a kind man.
The man smiles at you, and then your premonition sort of fades away.
Why do you ask?
No reason.
Okay.
As these two are talking, Gray and Kieran, you're looking at the news on the TV. It's like the sort of, it's on the non-stop Canadian CBC news channel. And there is a report that there's a report of a gang attack or gang hit just north of Toronto outside of Ajax on a farm. And the news is showing a number of burnt up motorcycles.
Expensive night for someone.
It's implying that it's that it's you then notice it's sort of an update. This maybe happened a little while, a few weeks ago.
Is it saying like they found something or found someone?
Well, just
or...
that investigators have completed their investigation at this farm just outside of Ajax, where they found a number of bodies in the basement of the home.
Oh.
And that they found close to a dozen motorcycles burnt up on the property as well.
Interesting.
That they believe it's gang related, and that further investigations that the OPP have taken, the OPP gang unit has taken over, the Ontario Provincial Police gang unit has taken over the investigation, and they suspect it has something to do with local motorcycle gangs.
Would that farm mean anything to me, or
no?
Is it just kind of a random?
It's just.
Any of the bikes look familiar to me?
Well, the bikes certainly look like gang bikes, gang bikes. What does a gang bike look like? But the bikes are like Harleys and stuff. They're not like
Harley
speed
bikers
bikes or stuff like that.
Rider.
I don't know which gangs were involved, though.
They then bring up a picture of a man, and they're talking that his there were reports of his wife and daughter being abducted, and that their bodies were found in the basement.
Do they look familiar to any of us?
No.
Nasty bloody business.
As Jacques and Toni are having their discussion, and Gray and Kieran are sort of just checking out what's on the news, one of the not the door you came through, but another door opens. A woman who does not look like she's part of the entertainment here, too businesslike, but definitely attractive like the women here, steps into the room. She's got a sort of a black striped skirt on, a business jacket, a blouse underneath. She has an iPad and a cell phone sort of beneath her arm as she comes in. And then another gentleman comes into the room, and he is almost as big as Jacques. Not quite, but a very big guy. He has a bald head, but his entire head, sort of where his hair should be, has been tattooed with all kinds of different sort of tribal barbed wire like markings. And then behind him comes a woman who is tall, looks very strong. She has a tank top on, and her arms just look like she came out of a gym. She comes in. She has dark hair. She has a pair of sunglasses, for whatever reason, as it's not particularly bright in here.
Hey, some people wear their sunglasses at night.
She
True.
True. Corey Hart.
I've heard that's a thing.
Great
So-
Canadian band.
So
Entertainer.
she comes in. Her hair is sort of off to one side and down over her shoulder, and the first two that walk in go and take a seat on sort of stools by the side of the room, beside the billiard sticks, and she looks at the four of you. That you've never met Justine before. Who the fuck are you? And she looks at Jacques.
I am just a guy who does not even want to fucking be here. You must be Justine. I have heard a lot about you.
Yeah. Veronica told me you're new in town.
I am new in town. I don't want to be in town either. I am here for my father's funeral. She sent me here. She said I had to come see you. Here I am, madame. How can I help?
I'm sorry to hear about your father.
Thank you. Me too.
But there is some protocols that our kind do, and checking in with the Baron or the Prince, if you're in Camarilla territory, is always good to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, as you may or may not be aware, I don't know how fast word travels around here because really I don't spend much time in Toronto. I've been up north in the woods with I know my sire is a gangrel. We're loners, right? We're not with a whole bunch of other people. I do not know your protocol so much.
The first woman that entered the room, when you say gangrel, she looks at the big guy and she's like, and the big guy's like, Justine's like a gangrel.
Yes. There was an unfortunate logging accident, and I woke up like this on my own.
Look, Jacques, I don't need your story, but there's not a lot of gangrel in Toronto, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm here now.
How long are you staying?
Well, that's a good question. I think that I have to help out at the club I help at sometimes with my gang, but I don't have plans right now. I have to take care of the estate of my dad, and then we'll see.
Are you staying at the old man's house?
Well, maybe. I'm gonna see.
Would you like to take some work on the side while you're here?
I think I could do that because I probably am gonna be here for a while. It takes a while to take care of this estate, huh?
It's not really a paying job, but it'll earn you a boon, and
well,
it means that You'll be working for me, and nobody's going to bother you.
Well, as I'm sure you can tell, I don't want to be bothered. So, okay. I will take your job. What do you want done, madam?
I think we all got that hint, mate.
Yep.
Well, Jacques, we're going to take care of some business. You're welcome to stay. Feel free to shoot some pool.
Okay.
I have business with these three. We're all going to stay in the room together, and we're all going to air some dirty laundry together.
I'm pretty sure I don't have any dirty laundry right now. Okay. I'll listen to yours. All of you.
My condolences on Skinny.
Just watching
she
his reaction.
She looked at Kieran.
Yep, real shame.
Yeah.
Told him many times about the electricals in that place.
Listen, I want you to think about the next thing that you're going to say to me. You don't have to rush a reply. You're just going to listen to what I have to say. You're going to think about it for a second. And then you're going to answer me. And if you answer right, then you're going to help me out to make things even again. But if you answer wrong, Ty over here, and she points to the guy over sitting beside the girl, Ty over here is going to take you up onto the roof of the Peach. He's going to chain you up, and then you're going to watch the sunrise.
If you think he can, I'm all ears.
Well, I tell you what, if he has any problem, I'll help him. Now you listen here, you little fuck. Here's the question, and I'm not going to repeat myself, and you're not going to answer right away, because I'm going to want you to think about this very carefully. We're clanmates, you and I. So I'm going to pay you this respect. Did you fucking stake Skinny in that club?
Nope.
She smiles. She looks over his shoulder. You see? He took his time. He thought about it. Okay, so who did?
Not a clue.
You're his kid, right?
Sure.
He always had a soft spot for you Euro trash that come over here with your fucking punk music. Jesus Christ.
Listen, there hasn't been any real punk music in this country for the last 15 years. Except my band, of course.
Yeah, your band. You playing down at the Skids? In the Roncy?
Listen, real punk isn't out in the limelight.
No.
It's found in the dirty parts. In with the filth. Anyway, I'm sure we're not here to talk about music. I have no idea what happened to Skinny. Except that he got burned up.
Well, my condolences then.
Real shame.
The Swallow was a good club. Not really my music. It's, it's too fucking political. Anyway. And Gray.
Yes.
Phyllis said she would send you.
And she has.
What
can I do for you?
Business?
Thriving. Absolutely thriving.
Is it though? Because you see, your girl, she cuts me in on a little piece of that so that I let you, continue to operate in my domain. And I'll be honest, the last paycheck wasn't so good. Now, you're in charge there now, right? While Phyllis is away? How long is Phyllis going to be gone for?
Oh, I'm not sure. She didn't really specify. She doesn't always specify. But I have things well in hand.
Do you?
I do.
You you fuck with their heads?
If necessary.
Does the blood give you that power? Or are you just well-spoken?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Who's to say? I can be very persuasive.
Oh, I bet.
They seem to like me a lot over there.
Are you afraid of color? There's a lot of gray.
I like to live in the theme of my own life. Or unlife.
Name is gray, dress in gray. Don't be as boring as
Nothing
Phyllis,
like a little
Gray.
consistency. What?
Don't be as boring as Phyllis.
Certainly not.
Well, you're short on the rent, essentially. Did Phyllis tell you that?
No.
No.
There was some mention of a favor.
Well, the favor is that you need to work off what you missed on this payment.
Perfect. Happy to help.
Oh, look at that. And you. She looks at Toni. I didn't ask for you. I asked for Mr. Pitt.
Yes.
Too busy fucking trying on masks, I assume.
Yes, Mr. Pitt was otherwise occupied. I was instructed to come in his stead.
Antoinette?
Yes. You may call me Toni, if you please.
Oh, thank Christ. Toni. Louis, Louis owes me. Let's just leave it at that. We go way back, him and I. Until
you seem to indicate as such.
Until he had a little bit of snap with reality.
I'd be interested in hearing that story.
I'm sure you would. Anyways, I'm gonna call in the favor, and lucky you, he sent you.
I'd be happy to do his bidding. And yours.
So, as you know, we've had a bit of a masquerade breach here in the city of Toronto. Some fuck that calls himself Cisco or something. I don't know. Just another crybaby of the Camarilla that didn't get his own way. So he puts out to the world that, you know, vampires and monsters exist. He's not the first one to ever fucking do this, but he thinks he's so goddamn smart, and he blasts it all over the internet. And of course the Camarilla damage controls, and, you know, doesn't go very far.
So what's the big fucking deal if the Camarillas got their teams on it? No one's the wiser?
Any of you know a lick, which is another term for vampire, everybody? A lick named Delilah Santos. I can tell you all that does not ring a bell.
I'd say that rings a bell.
Not anyone I've ever run into.
Is she one of my fans?
You don't have fans. Angel, put it up on the screen for them. So she looks at the girl with the clipboard, and she pulls out her phone and uses an app to change the channel on the television. And up on the television comes something akin to a home video. It's shot on a phone. It's dark, but there's a lot of flashlights lighting whatever's in front of the camera. There's a woman. She's hiding, she's in a parking garage, and she's hiding behind a car. You watch as two men in tactical gear round the car and drag her out from behind it.
Oh my.
They kick her down in the parking lot, her blonde hair sort of spilling out across the ground. And in a blink of an eye, one of them decapitates her.
Ooh.
And then the camera zooms in, and we watch as a blood pool gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Delilah Santos.
How unfortunate.
Delilah was one of us. She was an Anarch. Right here from west side of Etobicoke.
Well,
The
What
guys,
did she do to piss off the cammies?
well, the guys in the tactical outfits we think are probably part of this new Inquisition the mortals have formed. Vampire hunters.
Oh.
Delilah had a tendency to, shall we say, feed too much and then feel guilty. We're pretty sure she made Cisco the one that breached the Masquerade. And we think that Cisco tipped off the Inquisition to her whereabouts.
Interesting.
Like I said, little issues about being created and all that. Anyway,
Looks like the cammies have lost the touch.
well, I think they're desperate. They're grasping at straws. I mean, they wouldn't. This Cisco, I think he's clanless. I think he probably would have been thrown to the Anarchs, but they need people. They need bodies. I think they're trying to take control of the city and. Anyway. Ms. Santos here. She knows stuff. She knew stuff.
What kind of stuff?
Stuff about us. And
I don't think she should be doing much talking.
there's some concern that maybe Ms. Santos, pardon me, maybe she kept rather meticulous notes of where things were. Names.
That would be a
people.
problem.
Yeah, you see where I'm going with this? So if the Inquisition knocked her out, we don't know what information Cisco gave as to whether her, apartment is in the information. We're pretty sure it is. Anyways, nobody wants to go near it for fear that the Inquisition is still watching it. So, guess what?
Wonderful.
I need
So
you.
we get to go?
I need you to delicately and inconspicuously as possible go and check out her home and make sure it hasn't been breached by the Inquisition.
And if it has?
If it has, then I'm going to need to know. I'm going to need to know fast, and I'm going to need to know what information was there if possible.
I'm going to look at Angel. I'm going to say, well, love, you're going to have to give me your phone number so I can get in touch with you then.
Oh, I heard about you.
Oh la la. Man.
Angel says we'll make sure that we exchange appropriate contact information so that you can let us know what you find. Of
Perfect.
course, you need to remember that no information can be sent across texting or emailing, as if the Inquisition are active here in Toronto now, they will be monitoring those channels. They are
What about Signal?
particularly resourceful when it comes to the internet and such.
I'm gonna
What
lean
is the
over.
best way? Go ahead.
I'm gonna lean over to Jacques and go, Oedipus complex.
Clearly. Clearly. So how do we contact you then if we cannot use the email or the SMS?
You just need to make sure that the number we give you to text to or to call, you need to be subtle in what you say. Arrange for an in-person meeting either with myself or with Angel, and we'll get the details.
Okay.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
From you said the lady in the video. Sorry, out of character.
Yep.
Lady in the video was blonde,
Yes.
and I believe Toni is also blonde, right? Is there any kind of like passing resemblance that we could use to our benefit to be like, this is my cousin or so, whatever, to help us get in there?
That voice is probably going to be what sells it. Yes.
This is
Yes.
our
Yeah, I mean, if I
cousin.
heard that, I'd be like, yeah, clearly you're someone's cousin.
This is
I'm so sad.
so this is Delilah.
Oh, I totally look
believe
like her.
She's gone.
This is Delilah Santos. They tell you that she was a bit of an odd duck anyways.
Oh, I can totally pass for an odd duck.
They don't know who her. Justine says, I don't know who sired her, but
Interesting.
we've already taken care of a number of the children that she created. We weren't aware of Mr. Cisco.
Do we know what color her eyes were?
For the sake of story, I'll say they match yours. What color is your eyes, Toni?
Blue.
So Delilah seems to have blue eyes.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Justine says, are you hungry? I can have some girls brought in for you before you head out.
Oh, thank you.
How are your girls treated?
I treat my girls.
Dean.
I treat my girls great.
I'm always a little pickish, so.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah, I want some drink. I'm new in town, so.
Do you want me to bring them in here, or would you prefer private rooms?
Oh, here's fine. I'm leaving soon anyways.
Okay. Then I'll arrange for some to come in. Angel, give them the number. She comes around and she comes over and gives you a burner phone. She says the number you need to use is the only number programmed into this phone. Who would like it?
Not me.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. Oh.
Go ahead, Gray.
Actually, when
You
when the two of you offer, Angel looks at Kieran and then looks at Gray and just hands it to Gray.
Thank you. I'll just I have one of those very small purses that when you see it, it's like, how do you even put anything in there?
Exactly.
Is there just a
Person
lip
holding?
gloss in there? What is that?
And the
But
tiniest little
it's
phone you can find.
Slips it in there, clasps it, and puts it in her jacket pocket.
Justine says, listen,
It
you
disappears.
need to be careful on this job, and you need to make sure that they can't trace back. If it is the Inquisition, they won't just kill you. They will wipe out that beautiful little church of yours, Gray.
Yes.
Jacques, I don't know what family you have left or what's up there in the outback of Quebec. They will find it and they will burn it down. They are very thorough in their operations.
Well, to be fair, most of the forests are on fire right now anyway. So.
It's been a bad season.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
so
it's been a bad
sad.
season for
Too
sure.
soon.
Justine smiles at that dark joke. And she says, I'll give you a few minutes to talk amongst yourself, and then I'll have someone bring in the girls.
Okay, thank you.
And
Have a good
Angel
night,
Angel
Justine.
walks out, the big guy walks out, and then she stops at the door and she's like, they're to be left alive. You don't hurt these girls.
I'm gonna reach in my inner pocket
Absolutely.
and hand Justine one of my business cards.
Okay, she takes that.
I don't know what, or if anything, Louis has told you about me, but if your girls ever need any help, I run night hours.
Thank you. We're always looking to make friends here at the Peach.
Just so you know.
She takes the
And
card.
I treat my patients much better than Louis.
She takes the
If you
card,
catch my
she
drift.
quickly snaps a picture of it with her cell phone and then gives it back to you.
Thank you.
The three of them leave the room and the door closes, and the four of you are left alone for a short while. Is there anything you would like to discuss? You have been given the address of Delilah, where her apartment was and everything. And it's actually right in the same neighborhood that you're from. So all of you are sort of in the area of Kingsview Village and the West Way. So her apartment is right down in that neighborhood. Not in one of there's a mix of houses and apartment buildings there, but she's in an apartment building that overlooks the Weston Golf and Country Club.
I mean, I think if we can get in there on the pretense that you're a cousin coming for a visit or something, that would be perfect.
It's certainly worth a try.
What are the
I'm
rest
sure
of
I
us
could
gonna
help
do?
you convince them.
Based on what little footage we saw, it is a rather eerily striking resemblance, which puts a pit in my stomach, I won't lie.
I'm sure we can keep you safe. It's okay. Don't worry
That
just yet.
would be
We'll see what's going on.
preferred.
It's not about my safety so much as I have a theory.
What's your theory? Who's that?
She mentioned that no one knows who her sire is.
Mm-hmm. And?
My sire has a rather particular taste.
I see.
He's rather old, if you know what I mean, and
Fascinating.
tends to leave a bit of a chaos in his wake.
You think that she might have been one of his proteges?
I think she could have been one of his children.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past him.
On a side note, just because we're all playing vampire for the first time here, Toni belongs to the Malkavian clan, and they're sort of every clan has a curse, and their curse is that their mind kind of fractures over time. Medication can't help or anything like that, and you know, she was also described as being a little strange, loopy.
Oh, so maybe she was also.
So it lines up.
That also lines up.
Mm-hmm.
It's not perchance that myself and my sire in the medical field of psychology, it's quite normal for Malkavians to stay in that realm, since we're attracted to people with minds that are
Broken?
not so stable. Yes.
Crazy.
Unusual.
Nut jump.
Yes. I too am strange and unusual.
Well, we all have our little quirks.
Indeed.
All right. When do you all want to go over there?
I am free when it is not the time of the funeral. That is all I can tell you. Whenever really.
Okay.
The rest of you?
I don't have much going on. I can be available anytime.
I thought you had a big bank career, my friend. No?
I mean, I'm important in the local scene. I wouldn't say I'm a big famous. I don't want fame. I just want to bring back punk.
Well, that's a noble cause. Okay. Good enough.
Wonderful.
All right then.
Well, what time is it now?
You got here just after sundown, so you've maybe
okay.
you maybe got here around 9 o'clock, and the sun is slowly starting to go down earlier and earlier and earlier. But let's say you woke around 8 and you got here for 9, so maybe it's about 10 by the time the meeting wraps.
I mean, with a little bit of time, we could go tonight.
If we think the Inquisition are watching the place, we should do a walk by, see if we see any big vans parked outside.
Yeah, canvass this place out.
Yep.
Not a bad plan.
And
I like the way you think.
I don't want to cause you any offense, but maybe we shouldn't go as a group. None of us really seem like we'd ever hang out with each other.
Well, you're not wrong.
Yes.
Right then, what do you suggest?
Well, I think I'm probably the most street savvy.
I don't know, love. You look like you could probably use a therapist of your own.
Listen, what's going on in my head is way too complex for you to get in there and figure it out. I'm a
What's the
political man.
vampire equivalent of an insight check?
I think it's just insight.
Would you like to make that equivalent?
Yes.
Is he actually
How complicated am I?
complicated, or
We're gonna
does
find
he
out.
just think he's
He
complicated?
just thinks he's complicated.
Okay, fair
Everyone
enough.
thinks they're
Fair
complicated.
enough. Anybody who would like to sort of see if they think Kieran is bullshitting, could you give me an insight check, and then use your wits, insight and wits.
Okay.
I am not going to bother. Since I don't care. But also, my wits are not.
We just like to roll
It's
dice, so
maddening.
insight and wits.
Oh, there it
What's
is.
the difficulty? Still 2?
Yeah, just always leave it at 2.
Okay.
Oh, looking good so far.
Okay, can I have Kieran give me an opposed check of subterfuge and manipulation? You guys think he's full of shit.
Love, no man's mind is that complicated.
And like on cue, the door opens, an angel comes in, and she has a little entourage with her.
Ladies!
Oh, Toni, I think we're going to get along just fine.
Put my arms around a couple of the
So listen,
girls.
if you would like to feed, then you can reduce your hunger by 1 step. The trick here is, though, you cannot reduce your hunger to 0 without killing. So if you only have 1 point in hunger, you're welcome to take. You're welcome to. Is that all anybody has? So
Yep.
you're feeling a little peckish, and you can take a drink. You can sample the goods.
Can we choose to watch someone else drink?
Absolutely. If you like to
That's weird.
watch.
I'll keep watching the news. I don't care.
Okay, so Gray just walks away
Tasteful
from
moon on
this.
your face. Like,
It's like, oh,
And Tony's just watching. And our two gentlemen vampire sample from the cuisine here. They are
Nom, nom, nom.
they are more than willing, and they don't really know they're being fed on. Actually, Gray is Ventru. So what is Gray's prey exclusion? What will she not drink from?
Oh, I can only drink from true believers.
Yes. So these just won't work anyway.
No.
You're true believers of your church, not the
or in you
Inquisition,
specifically.
not
No.
true faith. Okay, all right.
No.
They have to be a part of the Church of Means.
The scheme.
And then once they're thinking
It's
along the
not a
same
scheme.
once they're thinking
vampire
along the same
bit.
line.
It really works.
Okay, so we're going to fade to black on that scene as, there's giggles and moans and sighs of relief. And
And
maybe
looks of contempt for Gray.
Gray's disgust and maybe, we just watch
It's like bored.
We just watch as Toni watches and we fade to black. So what would we like to do next? Are we going to the apartment tonight? Or I'm not really sure what was decided. How would we like to structure this next step?
If we have time to get there.
Yeah.
Just,
I think we
take a
should
look
plan
around.
some sort of stakeout to scope out what's going on around the building, see what
Okay.
kind of
How long do the boys keep their encounter brief?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
We got a job to do.
Okay. So you're gonna take a drive by her apartment then? Are we all Are we all piling into the Corolla?
The mid-sized sedan, sensible mid-sized
I'm
sedan.
taking my bike. Because we're not all going together anyways. So, it's probably better if we don't all arrive together and then just separate. That would look sketchy.
Well, I mean, if you're all in the car, you should be able to drive by without your differences being seen. If you're just going to do a drive by, but we can do the car and the bike. That's fine. So, do you just follow over on the bike type thing?
Yeah.
So
I think Gray sits in the front passenger seat, even though she's not as tall as some of the other people.
I'll go in the back, but I'm going to ask to be dropped off a little bit before so that I
Okay.
can do a walk by, because I have counter inquisition as one of my advantages, so I can smell the blood of true believer or those of the true faith, I think.
yes,
Oh.
yes, you can.
So
So
I'll
just for a
try and
note,
use that.
you do not smell that on Gray.
No, because she's
Yeah. So with that, I will also say that you and Skinny have had a run-in in the past with the Inquisition, and Skinny kind of, told you you had to be careful around people like that. If we go back a little bit in the history of Toronto was originally held by the Sabbat, which are now sort of like the boogeyman vampires. These are vampires that do not give a crap about humanity or the Masquerade. They believe that they're on some sort of a religious war, and they ruled Toronto for a very long time. But because of the way that they act and don't give two shits for the Masquerade, they became an easy target for the Inquisition. And the Inquisition basically ran roughshod over the city of Toronto. And with that going on, there's also some other things where old vampires are leaving the Western world and heading back into the East. No one's really sure what's going on with all of that. But with those two combined things, the Sabbat fell. And in that power vacuum, the Camarilla quickly swooped in, as did a number of Anarch Barons. Justine is not the Baroness of Toronto. She would like to be. but she's really not yet. She does own a lot of power and influence in the West End, but there are other barons in actually the East End of Toronto, 2 other barons that claim rule here. Just to give you a little bit of background. So I'm going to say that Skinny has, related many a tale of the Inquisition, and maybe you and him, in your very youngest of ages as a vampire, had a run-in with the Inquisition. Okay. So yeah, you head over in that direction. I'm just going to bring up a different map for all of you here, and I apologize to chat and everything. I don't have our maps ready to pop up and generate, so unfortunately we can't share this tonight, but I'm going to show you a map of sort of the neighborhood that we keep talking about, which is Kingsview Village, and we'll take a look at that here. So just let me pull this over. So here, can we all see this map, Kingsview Village?
Mm.
Okay, so just to sort of get a feel of where things are in relation to this map,
there's pizza here.
Yeah, there is. There's totally pizza here.
Is the McDonald's the happy burger?
Yeah, I think so. So number 8 on this map is Tony's office. It's in some sort of an office building there. Now, I don't know. We didn't talk. We'll have to decide this, but I wasn't sure if Toni needed a haven elsewhere or if she just stays maybe office apartment. I don't know. We'll talk about that once we're off screen. Kieran, your haven is number 9. That's where your apartment with your girlfriend is. Number 7 is Jacques' dad's place. It's a gorgeous big old house that looks out on to the Humber Creek ravine behind it. And number 10 is the Church of Means. Number 11 on the map, which is not far from the Church of Means, is the apartment building that overlooks the Weston Golf and Country Club, and that is where our Vampiress was residing.
A nice spot.
So as you sort of take your drive-bys, or you get out early and walk past, the apartment building is quite large. It's about 12 stories in height. You can only imagine the number of people that live here, but you immediately get the sense this is not a apartment building that would rent to families. This would maybe rent to older couples or single professionals. It looks very upscale, almost too upscale for Kingsview Village, to be totally honest.
Do I know of anyone who lives there, or like any older couples who live there?
Absolutely. We'll say that some members of the church live here.
Okay.
Actually, let's go even a step further and say that your touchstones, the older couple, Marcus and Juanita, live in the same building. That you think they're on the second or third floor, maybe?
Okay.
As we take a look around this, if I can have everybody, I'm going to ask for everybody to give me a roll here. And
Which one?
We are going to roll streetwise and wits. We mentioned in the meeting earlier that we're looking for things like vans or some suspicious vehicles,
people sitting in cars.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Well, sorry. What? I was just trying to find my character.
That's okay. We're rolling streetwise, which is in the center column of skills, and wits. Please remember, if you have a specialty in something that you think would apply, like if your streetwise has some kind of a specialty, let me know. That can get you an extra dice.
Second, sorry, it's not.
You might have one of the windows behind your, like when it pops the window for adding bonuses and that, it might be behind your character sheet. Always check for that. If not, I can certainly get it to generate the roll. That's no problem.
I think I'm just gonna close the character sheet and reopen it because I
Yep.
think there's something more on there.
That's okay.
Oh, okay. No, let's do me over here. Okay. So input value. What were we putting in there for our?
Streetwise and wits, and it's always 0 for the modifier, and 2 for
okay.
the successes. I'll let you know if those change.
So it's 0 and 2. Okay.
Excellent.
We're not very good at this. God.
I'm guessing that went badly. I can't see it yet.
Gray, you rolled everybody just got 1 success. Kieran didn't get any.
No.
But Gray, you rolled a critical. You don't have another critical to back it up, but I'm gonna give you an option here. I'm gonna let you succeed at a cost. So I'm gonna let you see something.
Yeah.
But they will
Okay.
also see you.
Okay. Maybe I'll act like I'm getting out of an Uber because this is my neighborhood.
Okay. Well, you're
and-
driving, right? The sensible
No,
sedan.
I took the bus.
Oh, you took. Oh, okay.
That's-
That's right. That's right. Sorry, that was Toni that has the car. So you
Yeah.
want to get out of Toni's car?
Yeah, and I'll just like step out of the car and be like, "It's no problem. It's only a few blocks away. Don't worry about it. No one knows where it is. Have a
Okay.
lovely night. Thank you." And I'll like act like I'm giving a tip on my phone.
And are you going to start to move towards the apartment at that point?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Down this apartment sits right on a corner. There's a bit of a bend. So as you get out and you start to wrap around the building towards the front of it, there is a car. It's a large sedan. You recognize it as a police car, an unmarked.
Oh, okay.
And the officer clearly notices you as well.
Okay. I think I do have. Hold on.
As you notice that, Toni, are you then driving off, playing the role of the Uber driver? Okay, all right. Now, Kieran, you're walking down the street as well. You don't pick out the unmarked car, and you pull up. Are you pulling up on your bike there, Jacques, or what are you doing? Just driving by?
Is there like a dépanneur or a beggar or something around?
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. You're in too nice a neighborhood here for something like that.
Yeah, so Jacques pulls up and just like parks the bike for a sec.
Okay.
And hops off.
As you pull up, you don't notice the unmarked car either.
Yeah.
Gray, what would you like to do?
Well, I do have a point in connected for like my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Can I just like, do they have their windows down or anything?
Yes, the windows are down. It's a little cool, but not so cool that, not so cool that you would need to bundle up or anything. And I will let everybody know that whoever rolls next, we do have a difficulty increase from chat.
Oh, perfect.
Oh boy.
Thanks, chat. Love you guys.
And I think I'm just gonna like walk by the car and see the people inside or person, whoever, and just be like, can you believe it? These Uber drivers don't even know their way around Toronto anymore. And they even have phones to tell them where to go. I can't believe it. And I'll just kind of keep walking and see if
are
they
you saying
react.
that to sort of the cop in the car or as you go by? Okay. So I would like you to give me, you have a choice here. You could give me a performance check or a subterfuge check.
I'll go with subterfuge.
Okay, so give me subterfuge and charisma.
Okay.
And then 0 on the modifier, but on the next one, you need to move that to 3 because Artemis bumped you to a 3 difficulty instead of a 2.
Thanks, Artemis.
Well, you crush
Perfect.
it. You crush it. You do recognize the driver, and you don't raise any alarms with your roll there. His name is Christopher Leggett, Officer Leggett, and he's part of the Toronto Police Force and is assigned to the precinct that looks after this area of town.
I'll just do kind of like a double take, like, oh. And I'll just like keep walking and be like, clearly I think they must be
Yeah, he hollers at you.
like staking someone
He's
out.
like, Miss Fairbairn?
Yes.
Miss Fairbairn?
Yes.
Is that you?
What can I do for you, sir?
He's leaning over.
What brings
and
you out here
do
tonight?
you come up to the passenger window?
Yeah.
Okay.
What can I do for you?
He says, what are you doing around here? It's pretty late.
I had an Uber driver bring me back and they couldn't find the church.
Oh.
Ridiculous. But it's fine.
Well, if
It's just around the
if you
corner.
want, I can run you around the corner.
Would you mind?
No, of course not.
Because honestly, I mean, I know it's dark outside. I don't want to,
Yeah.
Not that this is.
He reaches over. He reaches way over and sort of undoes the door and sort of gives it a push for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Just walk from the
Jacques.
It's like
Get
2
over
blocks
there.
away.
Jacques can totally see this happening. Kieran, you're walking up the street. You can see it happening. Anyways,
And I'll just say kind of, thank you so much, officer. You just never know these days, right?
Oh yeah. There's been some suspicious activity in the area. That's why I was here. Like, come on, let me drive you home. And
Suspicious activity? Well, you have to tell me all about it, and I'll get in the car. And...
Yeah, you guys see the car pull away, and the two of them seem to be chatting. So what would those that remain at the residence do? Actually, just before we do this, Alan, chat has asked that you make a rouse check. So can you make a rouse check to see if you get more hungry?
I'd like to point out that the person that asked for that is your wonderful sponsor.
Yes,
Yes.
Ryan for Canadian Dice.
For all your dice needs, I'm trying to hide this so he stops picking on me.
Kieran succeeded the rouse check. He does not get more hungry.
Let me tell you, folks, you need the best dice, best quality dice. All of Canadian Dice's dice only roll 18 pluses.
That's right.
Even on D6. It's amazing.
I've heard that.
Unbelievable, almost, but
Unbelievable.
So what about our two? We have Tony's doing a around the block once.
Mm-hmm.
What is Jacques and Kieran see the unmarked now, and it drives away. As the light hits it, the police symbols on it, like it just has to be at the right angle for you
It's like that,
the light to reflect it.
Black on black reflected.
Yeah, exactly.
Black on black. Yeah, I was just gonna say.
And then it drives down the street. So you two are left there, and there doesn't seem to be any.
What the bloody hell was that?
I don't know, man. I just think hopping in the car with the police maybe not the best idea. That's all. But at least they're not here anymore. Let's go. We check it out.
Didn't look like she was arrested, so I'm sure she knows what she's doing.
She's probably got friends in high places. I don't know.
She did get in the front seat. Okay. Just for the record. No one's getting arrested.
I mean, Kieran's definitely got friends in low places.
Really low.
It's the people in the low places that'll do the favors.
Yes.
Without asking for too much. So I let them do it. What are we awing at?
There's a cat on screen.
Cat.
The stream has been hijacked by a cat.
Cat. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
It's my familiar.
I can't pick my cat up. She's around somewhere, but she's mean.
Oh,
She's mean. She's a mean cat. So what do you guys do? You sort of you've both caught up to each other and you're standing in front of the building.
So what do you think? Should we, now that the police are gone, check it out? Is it safe? What do you think?
Are we at we're on the street? The apartment, are we in front of the door?
There's an apartment building. There's a semicircle drive up to the front door. Do you know what I mean? Like you can drive in, drop off, and then keep going. There's a bit of a overhang so if you drive up and drop someone off, you know, the rain's not going to be on them. Mm-hmm. And you can see a pair of glass doors into what looks like a foyer. There looks like there's maybe a buzzer or something.
So this is like a hotel of an apartment building.
Yeah,
it's really big.
So there's a certain level of security in a sense. Then.
Well, you don't see like a security guard or anything, but it looks like you do have to buzz.
No,
in.
but I mean, like we can't just go in. We have to be buzzed in by someone.
I would like to try and make a technology check to see if I can somehow hotwire that buzzer to open the door.
All right. So you make your way in through the front door, and you just rip the panel off the.
Sure. I have the other folks stand in front of me.
Does Kieran have a point in potence or anything like that? Like
potence?
Because I mean, to pull a panel off like that, maybe not so easy.
I do have 2 points in potence. I'm very potent.
Okay. Do you have powerful? What's your two abilities in potence?
If you need a panel ripped off, I'm pretty sure Jacques can help with that. Just saying.
Lethal body and prowess. So.
Yeah, prowess. That's what we're looking for. So you get your fingernails sort of around, you pull on it, and then you pull again, and boom, it like sort of leans forward, and you can get in at the wires. And Jacques, you're watching this. Are you like the lookout?
I'm the lookout, and I'm also blocking the view from outside.
Okay.
Or if there's a
as you do, you see a very sensible Camry drive by again. Toni, the kind chat has asked that you make a rouse check.
Artemis is a traitor.
So go ahead and give me a rouse check, Toni. As you drive by, and you know what? The pangs of hunger. Like,
oh no!
They sort of get to you.
Bet you wish you had a snack.
And you know what? As your hunger grows, you can hear Louis in the back of your head, and he's, we could get a bite around here. I'm sure no one would notice. Who's watching us now? And then he's gone. You look in, and Jacques is clearly blocking Kieran doing something. Would you like to pull in?
Yeah.
Okay. So you pull in. You guys see the familiar Camry. Sensible. Pull in. Can I have Kieran, can you give me a technology intelligence roll, please? Technology intelligence.
Yes, I can.
Almarin said they knew you would fail that roll.
Thanks, honey. Thanks.
Listen, Linda, says Artemis. Listen, Linda.
Listen, Linda.
Okay. Listen, Kieran, you didn't make it, my man. I'm going to offer you to succeed at a cost. I will let you do it, but you shock yourself, and you're going to take 1 point of damage.
I'll take that deal.
Okay, so you're going to mark off one of your health boxes.
A very specific card.
From the front, I think. From the left side. A slash, not a box. A box would be like a serious bit of damage. Yeah, so
bloody hell.
Jacques, you hear like a a zap come from the board. There's a flash of light in this little room.
Kieran, we're supposed to be subtle, no?
But the door, the door does go. You know the familiar when the door it makes like one of those noises. Meaning the lock has just been through, so you can. Yeah, so you open it.
Yeah.
And I close the box back up.
Toni, you see that they've gotten the door open. Do you want to follow in? Park in the visitor parking spot and head in.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
As she comes in, Jacques holding the door.
All right.
First.
You're such a gentleman.
Gray, as you drive down the street, Officer Christopher Leggett, he's like, yeah, there's been some suspicious activity around. The people at the apartment building called it in. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a couple of
that one right over there.
Yeah, a couple of trucks in the neighborhood regularly. Yeah.
Interesting.
They don't recognize them. They sit out front. These 4x4 jobs, you know. Who the hell needs a 4x4 in Toronto? Am I right?
In Toronto, I know.
By the way, I should say, if you want to be a true Toronto person, you do not pronounce the second T. Americans, take note. It's Toronto. Toronto.
It's like
but
Ohio.
Anyone that says, I'm going to Toronto, you now know that they are not from Toronto.
Tourist.
Yeah. So the cop pulls around and he pulls up in front of the church. He's like,
oh my gosh. Well, I'll definitely keep an eye out for those trucks. Do you want me to give you a call or something?
I know you took over here. How's it been going?
Well, I mean, slow start, but you know, always going to have a little bit of a lull.
What exactly is your denomination? Is it like, I don't see a cross or anything on the building. Are you Christian or what?
It's more of a community organization, you know.
A community organization?
We're just here to serve everyone.
Oh, so like non-denominational.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you give sermons?
We give like seminars sometimes.
Seminars, like
classes.
What kind of seminar would I take?
Oh, well, they're all about really just kind of improving your position, you know, improving your means, improving just your whole status, your way of life.
Oh, you know, I've been trying to make sergeant for a while now. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah, maybe this is the kind of motivation that, you know, I could need. You know, do you think that would work?
We could certainly help with that. We have a lot of different things about like building confidence, things like that. I might turn on my awe a little bit to really.
Okay, I like where this is going. So let's check that.
Look it up a little.
Second. We're gonna
keep him distracted as well.
We're gonna dial this up a little bit. So we're gonna use awe. So anyone in the presence of the vampire finds their attention inexplicably drawn to them. Those listening to the vampire speak might suddenly agree on subjects they once held different viewpoints on. So yeah, like he wants to know all about these seminars now. So are you just gonna keep him busy there in front of the church talking?
Yeah, and I'm telling, and you know, we always have refreshments for anyone that wants to come. We have flexible hours for our seminars because I know sometimes you work, you know, especially as an officer, you have such interesting hours sometimes. They get you on those rotational schedules where they've got you working 4 nights a week from 8 to 2 a.m. or something. It's wild.
Can you roll me? Your choice, persuasion or performance.
Okay.
And then you're going to use your charisma. But when it asks you for a modifier, I want you to add your present points in, and you have 3 in presence. So you want to hit a 3 for that.
Okay. So I have less points in performance, but I do have. Well, it's not exactly public speaking if you're speaking to one person, is it?
No, it's not. No.
Okay, so
This
I'll
is
do
more
persuasion.
Yes.
It's just speaking in public.
Yes.
So persuasion.
Hey, I'm gonna, get it wherever I can.
Yeah.
Persuasion, charisma, and then add my presence
Yes. So another 3
to the pool
to
size.
the pool size. That's correct.
Great.
That cat really wanted those pets.
Yes.
So 4 of 2.
4 of 2. Oh, you've totally enraptured him. You've totally enraptured him. Let's jump back to the apartment building. So
Talking about coffee cake and confidence.
yeah, the three of you head in, and when you realize, you get to the elevator and you realize this woman lived on the 12th floor. That's there's a penthouse unit there.
Wow.
So do you go up?
May as well.
In for penny, in for pound.
Okay, so the
Yep.
the elevator
All
goes
here.
all the way up, ping, and opens, and you walk into a hallway, and there's 2 penthouse units, A and B, and hers is A. Which no doubt is the nicer, because that looks to be, the way the hallway is situated, you feel like her penthouse is going to face the golf course across the road, as opposed to the other unit, which would face the city.
Okay. Let's try the door and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the door is locked. However, it doesn't. I'm not going to have you roll for this. You can see that the lock has recently been repaired, and there was a ram used on this door.
Mm.
You know, like a police SWAT-like ram that they,
Yeah.
Yeah. The door
As
has
opposed
been
to the
repaired,
kind of-
though. The door has been repaired.
Are you any good at lockpicking or not?
Lockpicking is larceny, everybody. Larceny is the skill that you would use for lockpicking.
I have a point in larceny.
Perfect.
Shocking.
Would you like to try to pick it there, Kieran?
I haven't done this in a while. All right.
Okay, but I'm no good at this, so like I leave it up to you. You got this.
If all else fails, you can just use your bolt.
I will use my brute force if ever.
All right.
Way you go.
Okay, Kieran. Roll me a larceny dexterity check to see if you can get these tumblers to roll. So Toni and Jacques, you're a little maybe unsettled by just how easy he did that. You know,
Right now, none of our houses are safe, Toni.
Exactly. You're like, that was too easy.
I'm
And
just impressed with his hand skills.
his hand skills. You're like,
Yeah.
Listen, lockpicking is an art.
Yeah. Just like playing the punk gigs. Okay, let's go.
Okay, so you head in. The apartment is dark.
I wouldn't think that being able to play 3 chords would help you with your dexterity like that, but you know.
Touche.
Three. That's generous for punk. That's
So many
generous.
birds. So many birds.
I
So
don't know enough about the structure of music to actually make comments on this.
So the door opens, and inside is a dark apartment. It is very open concept, and there is a large wall of windows with very sheer drapes. They're letting in a bit of the moonlight, and you can make out sort of black shapes that are no doubt furniture and things like that, and a small kitchen, and then a hallway leading down one side, and a closed door leading down the other side of the apartment.
Given that I
Anything
can
look? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say, given that I can see in the dark, is there anything that I notice that seems particularly out of place?
So you're going to engage your ability?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So give me a moment here. Because Gangrel are sort of new to me. Everything is sort of new to me. So we're using Eyes of the Beast. There is no cost, so you don't have to make a rouse check.
Okay.
However, your eyes do faintly begin to glow red.
Yep.
Cool.
And like an animal in the night, you begin to see everything as it is in the room. And this looks a little ransacked. There is an overturned table. You can see that the couch has a few tears in it. That, you know, very nice furniture. You would not. This is not how she kept the apartment. No way. Overturned chair. Few tears in the couch. The kitchen drawers and cabinets. Some of them are open.
Okay.
Down the hallway, you can see some pictures hanging on the wall. You're pretty sure maybe that's a bedroom just down the hallway there. You see another doorway. And then the closed door on the other side of the unit. You're not sure. There's a very nice fireplace in one side. But your vampires don't like fire. So she probably didn't light it.
Yeah.
But a big gas fireplace.
Yeah. I'm not seeing like anyone though. There's nothing.
No, there's no movement. No, nothing like that.
Okay.
I'm gonna nudge Jacques and say, anything look expensive? Worth taking?
If it was expensive, it's not expensive anymore than trash, my friend. Totally trash. Somebody did a good job on this apartment or something, in my opinion. Keep in mind, everyone, Jacques is not particularly smart, out of character.
he's not the brightest.
That might not be true.
What do you mean?
Actually, his poor Jacques' wits are only one. Like, Jacques does not think quick.
But he sees in the dark, so that's the thing.
Yes.
You have dark vision.
I have dark vision. Yeah.
I have dark vision. Can I use my sense the unseen to check for
Yeah. So you're gonna engage your auspex, sense the unseen. Again, the cost is free, so we do not need a rouse check, and that allows you to sense other supernatural creatures as you look about the apartment, and you do not sense any.
just checking for, plants?
Nothing like that.
Okay. Well, we're alone here, at least.
That is good. It's better than us being here with other people we don't know. Really.
Emily. Officer Leggett is just absolutely enthralled, and you feel like you've pitched it. Now it's time to bring it home. So if you would like, what do you say to him to sort of? You feel like you can maybe you could convince him to come out to, at the very least, a seminar.
Do you want to join a cult? Let's just go straight for it.
Would you like a pamphlet, officer?
Would you like to join a pyramid scheme?
I just think, I'm going to hand him
Maybe
one of
you don't want a cop. Maybe you don't want a cop.
No, I think we do. Because I want him to get promoted.
Okay.
I think we do. And not only that, we want a promoted sergeant. And we really want to have him on our side as well. So if I can help him, basically, I want him to think that I can help him get this promotion with
all right. So give me
our seminars, our classes.
Give me another check, just like before. Persuasion, charisma, and adding 3 for your awe power that's currently in place.
Persuasion, charisma.
Oh, 7 successes. Oh,
I think
my
that
God. Oh, yeah, he's
Officer Leggett.
Officer Leggett is ready to join. Do you want to
Amazing.
take him inside to fill out the appropriate paperwork?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I will say I will also make sure to get his card so
Oh,
that I can let
absolutely.
him know if any of these trucks are around, because I'm very concerned for the safety of our community.
Us too. I
Our
mean, I don't
organization?
know if you saw on the news out in Ajax there. Some gang violence from what I've heard.
Oh, was that the thing on the news about all the burned up motorcycles?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oof,
I'm gonna tell
terrible.
and I'm gonna tell you something else.
What?
Not only were the bikes burnt up, but then we heard through the grapevine that part of the wait, it's kind of hard to pronounce this name, but Les Macabre Motards. They're a biker gang out of Montreal. One of their clubhouses in the East End got hit, and the
You don't
same
say.
number of bikes that were burnt up, that's the number of bikes that got stolen that night from the club after the hit.
Real.
Yeah.
Who thought here in our little
I
area,
know.
biker gangs? How
Listen.
dreadful.
Gray, can I call you Gray?
Of course.
Gray?
We're friends.
I mean, people are not good like you. I see so much.
I know.
I see so much shit out there on the street. People trying to manipulate people constantly. Thank goodness for people like you.
Well, and if we can just reach more of them, you know what I mean? Like,
know.
if we can
I
just,
know.
I really think we can change people's hearts and minds.
I don't know if there's like a, is it a full moon tonight? Because I am feeling a connection here.
Sometimes people just,
I think it was fate. I think it was fate that Uber driver
you're
dropped
right.
you off there.
It had to be, right?
Back at the apartment.
Because who doesn't know their way around this neighborhood? I mean, with everything.
Are we beginning to look around, everyone? Are we turning the lights on, or do we keep the lights off?
Probably off.
Keep them off.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
use my
'cause otherwise it is
cell
gonna
phone
start-
for light.
Okay, so we're using a cell phone light,
Mm-hmm.
and
I'm just.
Yeah.
I want to go to the bedroom and look at like the clothes in the closet and like the jewelry if she has any.
Okay. So this is what we're first of all going to do. So you're going to check there's actually multiple bedrooms, but but you go to check specifically her bedroom.
What I would believe would be like hers.
There's 2
yeah.
guest rooms and hers. So as you check her bedroom, Jacques, what is Jacques going to check?
Jacques is going to try to find I think Jacques going to try to see if he can search inside of furniture that might have secret compartments or things hidden in places. He will probably not be particularly good at this, but
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a go.
In the main room in the main part of the unit?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. And Kieran, where are you going?
I'm gonna go and check the cold air return vents and those kind of places where you could put a small
Okay. Okay. So now what I would like everyone to do is go onto their character sheet, and we're going to roll investigation, which is on the far right column of your skills. We're taking our time, correct? Or are we trying to be quick here?
Half and half.
Probably.
Oh,
quick.
sorry, what were you gonna say?
Probably quick, right? You don't we got.
Okay, if we're trying to do this
heavily
quickly,
armed mercenaries.
let's do
after it.
investigation plus our wits.
Uh-oh.
which I know how good.
Come
Oh.
on, Tony.
I know how good Jacques is. Oh, Alan.
I think it's so good. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Full size modifier 0, and then difficulty still 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Tony.
Jeremy,
I know. I saw.
what do you got for me?
I'm so excited about it.
No. Oh no.
You know, folks, never a good thing when the DM says
So
that.
just so everyone knows, Jacques gets no successes. So he begins to look around for secret compartments and just like nothing.
Tapping on tables.
Kieran, you're like opening vents and shit, and you're kind of like your Brujah blood is getting angry because you're not having any success. And you scored a bestial failure, so your hunger will increase by 1, please.
Done.
In the back of your head, you can hear Skinny, your sire's voice. He's like, "You fucking loser. Why did I embrace such a shithead like you?"
Ow.
Wait.
I thought Louis was a turkey.
Tony.
Dad is still calling you out.
Tony, you find some jewelry. It's nice. It's very nice, actually. And when you open her closet, there is a blue dress just like the one you were wearing tonight. As well as quite a large portion of her wardrobe is blue.
No.
He needs a blood Snickers. Sorry, I just looked at chat.
There.
I need sippy.
Also, at the bottom of the closet, at the top of the closet is full of shoe boxes. But at the bottom of the closet, there is a black case, closed and locked. But the lock has obviously been jimmied and broken.
So I will leave the dresses there, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna grab the case and bring it out to the room.
Okay.
Do I grab any of like the dresses and stuff to confront Louis? What do you guys think?
Yep. Do it.
It's an opportunity for roleplay. Why not? Both in game.
I'm gonna say
Do I
that,
find-
you know what?
do I find
I
anything-
like that Tony has paused here and even asked for assistance, because I feel like, Tony, there's something in your gut. The blood bond to your sire is so strong that there's something in your gut that says, like, how dare I even think to stand up to him? Like, I don't even have that kind of willpower, do I?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying what you must or mustn't do at this point, but there is, I think a gut check here is certainly understandable.
Yeah. Actually, instead of bringing the case right out there, I'm gonna call my comrades. I don't know if we call ourselves comrades at this point. In and like, hey guys, I found something in here. I think you should see.
Mm-hmm.
What did you find?
Well, along with a case that's probably something we should take a look at. There's just, I've got the heebie-jeebies. I just need your help.
Okay.
So you come into the room.
Why is this stuff important that we're seeing right now?
First of all, was Jacques and Kieran? Is Kieran coming in too?
Yeah, angrily.
Can you guys both give me? Both of you give me another investigation wits, because you're coming into a new part of the apartment.
Okay.
Investigation wits.
I love that Jacques has 1 dice in this. One dice.
Oh, so there's no way you can pass.
No, I'm not passing anything here. Hold on. So second attribute.
Well, Kieran's anger apparently helped this time.
Oh, Artemis has decreased the difficulty on
Okay,
Jacques'
thanks.
next roll. So Jacques, the roll, all you needed was a 1. You still rolled.
I
did you
haven't
roll it?
rolled
Okay.
yet.
So all you're gonna
Hasn't
need
rolled
is
yet.
a 1. You're just gonna need 1 success.
Okay.
Come on, Jacques. Come on.
I need pool size modifier 0, right?
Yeah. And difficulty you can reduce to 1.
Is 1. Okay. Submit.
A bestial failure. A bestial failure.
Oh no.
Thanks. Anyways, alright.
We tried.
Oh no.
Okay, you know what?
God.
Jacques. Yeah. That's always good.
Yeah, this is not gonna be good.
Let me just check something quickly here.
Rip.
Oh no.
Jacques hulks out and then
Can I just give a whoa, big
Why
guy,
are
and
you
come in the room?
Why? Why are you laughing?
I mean, you know, what could go
uh,
wrong? So Jacques,
mm-hmm.
I'm going to inflict upon you a gangrel compulsion.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Gangrels, you begin to return to a more animalistic state. You regress to a
Okay.
point where speech is hard and clothes are uncomfortable. Arguments are best settled with teeth and claws. For the remainder of this scene, you
Oh,
will
no.
have a 3 dice penalty on any roll that involves manipulation or intelligence.
Oof.
And you can only speak in one-word sentences for the remainder of the scene.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
Rip his
Kieran,
shirt off.
you have not noticed the difference in Jacques yet. But you notice on the nightstand there's a book. Looks like she's reading 50 Shades.
Of what? If it's shit.
Of gray.
Of gray.
Sorry.
But it's the bookmark that catches your eye. And as you pull the bookmark out, it's a pamphlet for the hard swallow. It's a sort of a lineup list for a weekend show a few weeks ago.
Is my band on there?
Yes,
Excellent.
you remember playing that show.
I do remember that show. It was a good gig. Crowd
Tony,
went wild.
you bring that case out and put it on the bed and maybe open it.
Yeah. Or try. See if the lock's jimmied enough that it's still
Yep.
broken.
Yeah. Inside there is a mask.
Oh god.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
It
Ah.
looks like the mask of resembles some sort of feline. Also inside the case is a riding crop. Gray's face was fantastic.
That was Emily's face for the
I know
Probably also
Jacques.
Gray's.
What a character
I-
whose face?
I know Jacques and say, what do you think that's all about?
Jacques just like
Shit
huh.
just got
Holding
real
his head.
awkward here.
No.
Say something without saying anything.
Tabernac. The end. R.I.P. Jack.
So,
Well, that wasn't exactly what I was expecting to see in there.
We're running a little short on time, so this is what I'm going to say. You guys all continue the search of the apartment. In the door on the other side of the apartment, away from the bedrooms, you find an office, and it would appear that this woman worked as a travel agent of some type in her off hours. She has a computer in this room, and you notice that the computer has been pulled out from under her desk, disconnected, and then appears to be smashed. Not into a whole bunch of pieces, but significantly damaged.
I'm gonna check if the hard drive's been removed.
Give me a technology intelligence check. And does Jacques have any word of wisdom to contribute as he does this?
Computer.
It's on the ground.
Yes, and Kieran goes over and starts opening it up and looking inside it.
Okay. I'm pretty sure Jacques has nothing to say about this. He's just watching, like.
So, Kieran, when you open
We're
it
lucky
up,
he hasn't ripped his shirt off yet.
when you open it up, the inside is very damaged and the hard drive is broken beyond readability. But whoever damaged this computer failed to notice that there has been a second hard drive added to the computer, and it is tucked away underneath the board at the very bottom of the case. And it looks intact.
I'm gonna spend some time removing both.
Okay.
Because there's data recovery services.
Yeah.
Available.
Mm-hmm.
But the other one I can probably just hook up.
Okay. So you take those.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's finish the night out then over at the Church of Means. The officer is so thankful for your help, and you walk out the front door to go to his car, and he's like, "Listen, Gray, I really appreciate this. I've been trying to get this promotion, and I really think it could change my life if I can just, step up the ladder a bit, so to speak."
Well, and I mean, of course we have our seminars, but, I'll keep an eye out for these trucks, too. Maybe that'll help in your climb to the top.
Okay. As he goes, "Oh, and let me get you that card of mine. I said I was going to give you my card."
Yes,
So
please.
he walks to his car, and as he does so, he steps over a little white stray cat.
I take a step back.
He goes into the car and he gets a card and he's like, "Here it is," and he sort of offers like for you to come and get it. And the little cat, it's around all the time, looks at you and it's like, "Meow."
Shoo, I'm allergic. Go away.
Could you give me an animal?
Oh, no.
We're going to ask that you give me an animal ken and composure check.
Can I use compel on the cat to add a dog?
No, you cannot.
I think it's just your foot.
Your foot. Compel.
You said it was animal and
Animal
then what?
ken and then composure. Wow. Like you keep your calm. And the little cat yeah, I hear you, and starts walking along down the sidewalk again.
So allergic to those things.
Is that what
I do like a couple fake sneezes.
Fake sneezes? Okay. Officer Leggett brings the card over. He goes, "Oh, they're such a nuisance, aren't they?"
I mean, they're so cute, but they're just...
So this pulls on your folklore background, and white animals keep you at bay. He hands you the card, and he wishes you
thank you.
He wishes you a good night.
Be
And
careful out there, officer. We need to keep you around.
of course, and I can't wait to see you at the seminar.
Yeah, I will be there for sure.
I'll send you that
probably be leading
I'll
it.
send you that e-transfer when I get home.
Amazing. Perfect.
And that's where we're going to wrap tonight's session. Thanks, everybody. We went a little late. We started a little late. We went a little late. So we're going to just check for somebody to raid.
Pasta, what are you doing in Toronto?
Yeah.
Jeremy, before you do the raid,
Yes.
the other day I was thinking, you know what? I need a set of dice that have little red skulls in them.
Yes.
You know
Yes.
where I found them?
Where did you find them?
CanadianDice.ca.
Amazing.
What?
Here's my question though.
Code for a certain amount off?
Did you use the code for 15% off?
What code?
There's
The
a code?
OMRD code. Old Men Rolling Dice. OMRD. 15% off your entire dice.
Amazing. I wish
OMG.
I had
OMRD?
We can only hope that this will reach his ear, and maybe you won't have to be so penalized by the dice.
You know what he could do is create a set of dice after each of our characters.
Yeah.
There's an idea, Ryan.
Let's put the pressure on. Let's put the pressure on.
Tony dice
Come on,
sounds
Ryan.
amazing. Just as long as
Tony
they're not
dice.
blue.
I mean, I don't
I'd
have
like
any.
to
I don't see any. I don't see any punk dice on
Yeah.
here.
True.
And then you don't have to worry
Yeah,
about
work
coming
good.
up with a bad
Punk dice would be
name because you have
awesome.
our names already.
Very true. Very true. Listen, this has been a great night. This was our first session. We are going to do this every Tuesday now for the next little while. We'll be going through Blood in the Six, our Vampire Chronicle. You've met the vampires now tonight. Please give us a follow. Come back and watch the next episode. We'll see what kind of trouble they get into. We're going to raid another vampire streamer right now, Hero Zone. And thank you to my players, and we'll see you guys in a week's time.